Initial jobless claim data incoming here for last week. Just getting non-farm productivity quarter over quarter for Q2, 2.4% versus a 2% print expected. There it is. 226,000 on the initial jobless claims number versus 221,000 consensus that was expected from last week. 220 was the forecast, a little bit higher on that. Continuing claims 1.97 million versus 1.94 million. Jobless claims 4-week average now 220.7 versus 222 expected. A couple of Fed speakers coming up today. We'll get Bostic at 10 a.m., Muslim at 10:20, and then a couple of other data points. Nothing significant though. All headlines this morning though could be about tariffs and continuing to watch how this is playing out. We had a Bank of England rate cut this morning in response to some data, I think, coming out of the UK that was weaker than expected. Here's Intel this morning. Meanwhile, President Trump going after Lip-Bu Tam, saying he must resign immediately. Oh boy. Sending Intel shares to the downside this morning because of he's conflicted. I don't even know what that means, but True Social coming out early this morning about Intel and the CEO there. I mean, lots to talk about. There's going to be an executive order signed today on the crypto side of things that will allow it to be included in retirement funds.
Hopefully that comes to this side of the border as well. Speaking to Neil off camera about that, it'd be nice to have that in the retirement savings account. Lots to talk about today, guys. Taiwan semi up 4.6%. They're going to skirt the 100% tariffs on imported semiconductors, so good luck for them. Same story with Apple, up 3% below that 220 resistance level. Tim Cook at the White House yesterday in the Oval Office announcing another $100 billion in addition to the $500 billion, Brendo, that they announced in February. Eli Lilly dropping significantly despite beating on the top and bottom line and raising guidance as a result of their pill. It didn't achieve the results that the street was expecting, the oral GLP-1 we're talking about, Brendo, and a lot of other earnings names, and another IPO likely, hopefully, on the midday.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up. The Apple story is kind of interesting. I was reading a couple things this morning on the timeline specifically. There's no guarantee that this could happen in 2 years. There's no guarantee that this could happen in 10 years. So yes, they're in writing and in language committing to $600 billion as an investment. But how much of this actually gets seen all the way through to the end result that I think
you feel like he's going to hold their hand to the fire though, or because
in the next 3 years.
Yes. So if they're not building out, you got to see repercussions.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of how I see it. You're not going to be able to skirt these with him.
And he was even mentioning that in the comments that he made at the press conference yesterday, saying that if you are building or if you have plans to build some sort of manufacturing facility in the U.S., you get around the tariffs.
Exactly.
And he even went as far as saying that if you go back on plans to build some sort of manufacturing facility, they'll backdate tariff charges and come after you on that. So either way, Apple up big time here, both yesterday, bigger move yesterday than today, but nice 2-day rally right at resistance. Just real quick, this is what IBIT is looking like this morning as well, showing some strength here, guys, in the pre-market. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning for crypto. Good morning. What's crazy about it is it's like all the chips were gapped up. I mean, obviously, Intel was actually even gapped up before this you need to go CEO because you're conflicted.
I mean, everything's coming right back.
Still not sure exactly what this means with regards to like why he's conflicted, but I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about that. But TSM makes TSM makes almost all the chips, and if they get the exemption because they're building in the U.S. Well, Samsung is too. Like that's the bulk of chip production in the world. So you really got to figure if they're getting the go ahead, like AMD gapped up on this, like Nvidia gapped up. You would think that kind of announcement would have been negative, but it absolutely wasn't. There are a ton of earnings names to go through, whether it's DraftKings and to the upside, Duolingo to the upside. So there's a lot for us to watch. Ooh, Randy coming through. I still have this ridiculous one from yesterday.
Randy is obsessed with size, I noticed.
Clearly.
Is there something you'd like to tell us, Randy? No?
Why was the fan going earlier? Oh. I found that the paint smell hasn't been as bad the last couple of days. I don't know, maybe I'm getting used to it. I think that's all it is, like getting used to the paint smell with the renovations. It's because I didn't even notice it this morning.
Yeah, I know.
And maybe that's not a good thing.
No, I huff
Probably
paint
not
every
good.
night, so
not a
for
good
me, it's this is a nice relief of air quality over here. But yeah, no, Apple's been great, and you know, we talked about buying that, you know, down here 212, now 220. That's nice. It doesn't really matter the price you bought it at. What I'm thinking about here is finally you get that news. I think Apple's set to go now. Like tariffs now, we don't have to worry about them as much now for Apple, so that's great news. As they start to produce more and more in China, get some exemptions there from the India tariffs, so on and so forth. Now we just wait, and I was saying to these guys, now we just wait for that AI story to come, and then when that happens, then you're back up here to 250, 260, and taking out these highs again. So I'm all aboard on Apple today. I think it's a long. We were long the last couple of days. We had 208 yesterday right there on that break long. And it's been good. We had the long a couple times this week, and you know, if it fades out, it fades out. We'll be able to watch it. The thing is, it has a good level here of 219, so we're hovering around right now. Look, there's an hour until this market opens. I mean, lots could change. President could come speak again on this. We could get some more clarification on some of these investments, the AMPs, America Manufacturing Plants, or production, whatever it stands for. But you know, at the end of the day, it has the word American in it, has production in it. And that's exactly what this government wants, and they got it from Apple. $600 billion investment was absolutely huge, and exactly what I think that this company needed to do to sort of skirt some of those negative headwinds, and now I think we got some tailwinds behind us with Apple. So yeah, I'm super excited for all of that. You know, Major League Baseball needs to fix some rules. You know, you can't just... It's funny because you got guys like Vladdy and all these guys just padding their stats basically against a guy like Neil pitching, and it's just like, it's crazy that kind of stuff happens. But you know, at the end of the day, like maybe there should be a run maximum or something.
The position player pitching thing, it's like, to give you an idea how bad it's gotten, there was a dude, most people wouldn't know this, but there was a pitcher on Minnesota.
Yeah.
Whatever, he's a good reliever. He let a couple of guys on, they're his runs, but he's a good pitcher. And he gets pulled for position player. What happens if that guy gets
the
bumped?
ERA.
It's his ERA.
Yeah, but that's the manager.
No, but he goes in and is like, I'm done, trade me. And
Yeah,
they trade him
that's-
the next day.
well, he should-
Because it's like, it's disrespectful.
Right, as a manager myself, I would never do that to somebody.
What they need to do is just, look, man, then let teams more easily call up an extra pitcher. If they had a big game where they have no arms available, then let them make it easier for them to be able to bring a guy from AAA so that they have extra arms. So you can do this, so that you can have an actual pitcher. But what happens?
It doesn't happen that often. That's the thing. And you don't know when it's going to happen, right? So then you just have like...
The rules of bringing guys up are really strict. It's like you only have so many options to send a guy down, and then a guy has to be on the 40-man to bring... There's all kinds of rules making it difficult to taxi guys back and forth on a need basis. So they only allow for double headers, but it's a simple solution. It's like ease
the solution
rule.
is also, why not just throw in the white flag?
Well,
like when it's the 8th inning.
No one's going to do mercy rules.
I know. Well, that's basically what they're doing, though.
Nah, but they're not going to say stop the game, though. That's the problem. And they don't want. The problem is you make a lot more money if you get brought up from AAA to the big. So it's like.
Yeah. That's I know. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand those parts.
It's a money thing, but the owners won't want to do it.
So stupid. But anyways, yeah, that's what's going on around here. So.
Everything that reported is up 20%. Not everything, but a lot of things that reported.
Oh, Eli Lilly's up 20%. Let me
Nope.
just check on that one really quickly here, Neil. Let me see what you're saying over there.
Nope.
I woke up today, saw this thing at 650, and put a buy order in, and didn't get it. So we're looking to buy more Eli Lilly, like even off of the open. You don't get this major, huge company like this doing what they're doing for 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 to 12 to 13% discount. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm in there trying to buy Eli Lilly today in the long-term account for sure. Would love. I mean, look, I still have the 650 if it comes in and fills, great. But we'll wait to see if that happens. And then if not, whatever. We'll see about maybe. I mean, if I have to push the 700 level here and buy some there, fine. I mean, 700 has been a level that we've really liked for Eli Lilly in the past, bouncing off there. So yeah, a little bit of a whoosh right there to the downside now for Eli Lilly. It seems like all these major names, if you're not tech related, yeah, you do get hit. And but yeah, it should be a good day regardless. I've got Palantir on the mind again. Hey, man, it's only 182 right
Only
now
a
for
point
Powell.
today.
I mean, will that 195 get filled? Yes, it will, but at what time? I don't know. But there it goes again. Yesterday we had yesterday this thing was 171. So if we just have the same day as we did yesterday today, then yeah, we are going to have a 90 handle with a 1 in front of it before you know it. So it's absolutely ridiculous. There's people still shorting this name, adding fuel to the fire. Palantir, we told you when they reported earnings that there was still an 11% implied move on this name. So yeah, we are getting near there, and that's tomorrow was the expiration of those options. So we'll wait to see if it keeps on going. But yeah, just looking around the Nasdaq, I cannot believe it again, and up another 1% here today.
We're just cruising higher.
Oh man.
Oh, you want us to talk? Thank you for the super chat, Patel. Please talk about Celsius. They're one of the names up 20 points on, check that, 25% after earnings. Big beat. Like they beat by, oh my goodness, it was like 20% beat on revenue. So there's probably a million puns that you could say with this one. You could go with the name. You could say it's hot fire, or you could. Adair was like it's got strong energy. I don't really touch those energy drinks. It's not my thing, but yeah, it's on a few of those here today. And they're not the only one. Strong. And this is it's a decent short flow, I believe, on this one. I'll have to double check it, but yeah, this is momentum play for sure on Celsius and worth watching. It's gapped a little far for like any kind of traditional setups. Like VWAP is what I'd have to look at here today for Celsius. I kind of prefer looking at DraftKings as far as an earnings play, but you really can't go.
DraftKings.
The DraftKings up again as well, so there's plenty of strength. I get it. Eli Lilly's to the downside. Fortinet not good either, but for the most part, this is different from what we were looking at previously, where everything's almost gapped downside. Like it was a lot of downside earnings yesterday. Today, it's complete opposite. Complete.
Yesterday, we were looking at DraftKings, and we were talking about it doing this, and I said, yeah, it's because it's getting ready to break out, and there it goes. So finally, they're up to 46, 47, 48. I'm going to sell DraftKings when it comes up here into 52, 53, raise some cash. Again, I think that with this market being obviously a little frothy with S&P 500 average valuation now with a 22 on it for the market for PE, that's huge. That's overpriced. And we're going to get out of some of this stuff as we continue to go up. So yeah, I might sell some not at this level. If DraftKings get into the 50s, we'll sell some of that and maybe put it to work somewhere else, maybe a Berkshire or something that's been a little bit more beat up, not something that's like this. But yeah, trying to get some value picks here. It's nice. The account keeps on climbing. Someone in the chat was like, yeah, Palantir keeps on going up and has no idea why, but they'll take it. Yeah, same kind of ways. I mean, we know why. Their earnings were really solid, and the future of AI is huge, and they have a huge moat around them. So I think it's fine. But yeah, for valuation, we are starting to get a little carried away. One name that I didn't look at today was Tesla.
Still up.
320. Okay. Yeah, again, like maybe if Elon and Donald can become friends again, which I think they sort of getting to that point there. Like Trump yesterday said something about how Elon's a good person, just had some bad moments. Okay, thanks, doctor of psychology or whatever he is now. But right into there, 315 to 317. That was one of the greatest things I saw again, him dancing on the roof. Did you see that? That was awesome. I hope that wasn't AI. He was doing a little bit of a dance on the roof when he was up there. But that's the thing. Like, if I'm the president of the United States, I'm doing that stuff too. I'm going on the roof. I'm doing all that stuff. This guy's building ballrooms.
You see? I mean, there's one of the movies that I think it's like, I don't know if it's the Jamie Foxx one or the one where like the president, the White House is under fire. They got some serious gear up on that roof.
Yeah, I know.
They're not playing around.
That was just a fun thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah, in a general sense, you got to live life. Look, it's always fun to see like the normal side of anybody. Whether it was Obama playing hoops or like dancing on the roof, at least that's always cool to see. I still want to know though, and I'm still waiting for a headline as to what exactly is the issue with Lip Bhutan. Like, are you saying he needs to be? Do you need to be gone because Intel stinks, or is it actually no? But like, that's not what he said. He said, "Dude is conflicted."
So there was something about him with Chinese government.
Is it a China government?
But we knew that when he got.
Okay,
but he.
China.
The thing is, when he was announced, as CEO or took the role or whatever, however that went down, everyone knew he had those connections.
That's what I'm saying.
So they're
It's
just
not
being brought
new.
to light now. I mean, look, the shitty companies just get shittier every day. And I mean, right here, Intel down another 3%. I mean,
when every other chip name is up after tariffs were, 100% tariffs and all the chip names were
I
up.
remember you and I going back and forth about this one when this thing was like $40 or $50, and I was wondering why it's not going up. Now this thing's at $20 and it's doing the same thing. But at least it's given us a long, it's just given us a long, like disappointing little run here. Like, as I said, these are the same levels that you're at since the 1980s of Intel, and now they don't even have a dividend. So, at some point here, it's going to be a buy. Like, it looks great down here on the technical level. It's in the right space. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know enough about the operations of Intel and why they are so bad. I mean, you would think that they were the ones building that American foundry. Now you have an American-only president, obviously, and you would have thought that would have been a good thing.
Well, the problem is TSM's
Intel.
building.
Yeah,
TSM's doing it too.
competition's coming now.
And Samsung. So basically, 90% of the chips that already get made elsewhere with TSM and Samsung. And by the time you're profitable or even able to do this foundry game with Intel, you're going to have TSM embedded in the USA, which is, they're already doing it. So it's kind of like too late. Too late. The other name that's up, we talked about Eli Lilly being down. We'll go back to the desk in a second. Before we go back to the desk, Eli down, Novo up, because Eli earnings were good across the board. It was the oral drug disappointment. It did not beat. This is oral. It's unfair. Whatever. I think it's an unfair comparison to compare Novo's injectable weight loss with the oral, because I think you're going to have a less of a barrier for people to take the oral. So if it's even close to as good, I think you're going to be able to capture more of the market. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Novo up 8% on Lilly's, I guess, disappointing trial. 12% still pretty good, but whatever.
I'm going long a quarter unit if Palantir breaks 182. So we're just going to do that. Just let everybody know, because it's on the sticky note here, but it's going to break it soon. So up 1.27% now, and looks like it wants to go up even more right now. Palantir just had a nice little jaunt there. We're going only a quarter unit because of the fact that we are well aware of what Palantir can do, especially if it slips up off the open. Like yesterday, look, we had this move down right there off the open, down into 171, and then immediately within a minute, we bumped up $4 or $3 back to 174. So let's just go along a little bit here on Palantir, see if we can start that with a decent move, and then we'll go and look back at it and see what happens right off the open when we get those imbalances and things like that. So, all right, we just talked about things for like 15 minutes right here. So let's go back over to the desk and see if those guys are still alive.
Sharif and I were just talking about Peloton.
Yes.
Beating expectations, got above $8 here early on this morning, reported this morning. But I mean, the number's actually not bad here for Peloton. 5-cent per share profit versus a 6-cent per share loss. 624 million in sales versus 580 expected there. It was down slightly year over year, though, 643.6 a year ago, but still. Peloton's still a thing, apparently.
I know, it's still alive, Breno, and they turned a profit for the first time in a while. $21.6 million in take-home money. Gross margins improving, which is not bad here. 54% gross margins for a physical product. I mean, we see NVIDIA with their 70-something, but typically it's 30-something for a physical product there. They plan to cut about another $100 million from their annual run rate. That's for 2026. They're sadly going to lay off 6% of their workforce and continue to reduce direct spending. And they've already added $200 million in cuts just in 2025, looking to add another $100 million. They plan to re-enter, Brendo, that physical retail space, but they're not going to have these huge showrooms that cost a lot of money. It's going to be more small box kind of looking. They're also investing in pre-owned hardware sales. So they're going to get on Facebook Marketplace, sell some of these usables, and they're making a deal with Precor. You have any treadmills by Precor at your gym? A few old ones with mine. They've got a good supply chain out in Asia, looking to do business with them.
Yeah, so Peloton definitely one to watch here. I was just double checking. 18 to about 21% I'm seeing on the short side for Peloton, and that was as of the first week of August, guys. So there is a short percent. Interesting note on GM this morning, teaming up with Hyundai. for 5 new electric vehicles, or they're going to team up to design and manufacture eventually 5 new electric vehicles. So kind of out of nowhere for GM.
Yeah, I didn't get to review that one,
Yeah.
but that is interesting. That's a good partnership there with Hyundai.
We'll see if it actually comes to fruition, but GM trying to find something that'll work on the EV side of things. Guys, thoughts on Peloton today?
You know what? It's actually done way better volume than I expected. I was joking around when I said everybody that reported was up 20%. There's just a wealth of names that are double digits to the upside, and you're going to be picking and choosing. We're definitely going to be looking at DraftKings today for sure. Peloton, I think the look seems to me, it doesn't look like it's even holding at least prior highs. I know it's not a huge short flow like it used to be, 30, 40%, but you still want to be breaking away from prior resistance. It's been an oddly boring stock recently. And if it's not above $8, like that prior high, then what's the scare? So that is kind of languishing underneath here. Like, I think if it gets above $8, I don't know that it needs to break out the highs. It just needs to be above $8. I'm not as excited about this one here today, just because of how it sold off the couple of times it broke in the pre-market. Got to get back above that $8 level for me to be interested in Peloton today.
I didn't look at Peloton yet there today, but if we are going to, we did talk a little bit about DraftKings there earlier. I mean, it's not doing a whole bunch of volume, but 200,000 actually isn't that bad. Probably one or two bigger prints. I think a pullback, in this name into 46 would be real nice. I don't think we're going to get that, so we're going to have to look for an extension here on DraftKings today. The problem is some of these names that don't have the juice to it can fall back in. So I'm not super excited about it without seeing like some decent sort of hold somewhere off the open. But we've traded this name before. It has obviously some great potential to go a couple dollars, especially with sparser available shares. So yeah, I like DraftKings, and right now I'm looking at this 47.50 area, sort of where we bounced off a little bit yesterday. Obviously a pullback into yesterday's close wipes away everything. I don't want to get too carried away because I still have damage from Starbucks. Let me look at what Bros is doing, a report from these guys as well, up 20%. So there it goes. I mean, again, another thing, we talked about this yesterday live on the show, and I said this name is at the 200 period moving average. We saw a decent report from Starbucks. We saw a decent report from McDonald's, and there goes Bros right there to the upside. So congratulations on this one. Of course, the name that I buy, OSCR, the day before Oscar, although we're still long at 1370, it's okay. This name doesn't have that 19% move like we're looking for in all the other ones, but we'll look to see if Oscar can hold out around $14 again. Yesterday on earnings for this name was pretty good, and we did get a dip by opportunity as well. That was held right into here, 1380, 14, this little level right there. So we'll see if Oscar Health can get going as well. So we put 4% in our pocket yesterday on a one-day move for Oscar. We'll see if we can put a couple more points there today. But all right, let's go over to the screen with Adara.
We're going to start the upgrades here with AMD. Big move down yesterday in earnings. Today, we're gapping up and we're getting $165 price target on this name from DZ. Then we've got eBay and Etsy, two of last week's earnings plays, both getting an upgrade this morning from Arete. Lyft, here, day one earnings for this one, Roth Capital upgrade and a $19 price target. They did miss, though, on revenue. Downgrade side of things, Caterpillar, which reported earlier this week, getting a negative note from Morgan Stanley. Joby, this was a double miss last night when they reported earnings. They're getting a downgrade from Canaccord Genuity with a $17 price target. Viasat with a Deutsche Bank downgrade, and Fortinet gapping down more than 20% with a Piper Sandler downgrade to boot. Back to you.
Yeah, the top of the list upgrade on AMD, which was at the open, or right away, such a short yesterday. But what a recovery it ended up making. Gap down, flush right off the open off of 165, and then right back in, top out at 165 in the afternoon. And even in the aftermarket after earnings, it was $165 was the low. So it's above there now at 167. I like 165. That's the level to play off of. And if it was a good short yesterday, and like you said, it's crazy, the entirety of the chip space, every single chip name I've looked at this morning, and I'm pretty sure I've looked at a bunch, they're all gapping to the upside and looking strong with the exception of Intel, which we've discussed already. I don't think ARM's doing that well, but maybe they're in their own bucket. But 165 on AMD, that resistance, I love when resistance turns into support. That's why I want to try to pick up the buy. Do I think it fills in the gap today? No. I mean, the gap was ridiculous. Like, the gap is, you're gapping 170, the mid 170s. I think that would be asking a lot for AMD, but it's a relatively healthy pullback. As long as we hold 165, I'm willing to be long. And that's certainly a level that I have to be willing to reverse if it's in the afternoon or after the opening rush and we're underneath the 165 level. I can't be fighting the level that was a good short yesterday, but I am long above it today.
Remember that funny story when NVIDIA and AMD were the same price? That's something you'll be telling your kids for a long time. At one point they were the same price. And it wasn't that long ago. Of course, it was 3 days ago. But there goes NVIDIA again, up another 1.37%. I have AMD written on the sticky note, so I'll tell you about that once we get to it. But yeah, this name again, just exceeding expectations. All-time high is going to open up for NVIDIA. Like the stuff. Well, actually, we did have a print up to 183, so it's not going to be all-time highs. But you're getting close to that on the open here today again. As the Nasdaq, I mean, this is what the Nasdaq looks like. I mean, the Nasdaq is absolutely insane here on a daily chart. I mean, you had that little bit of a move down where everybody was like, oh no, we had a red week, and then right now you're back all the way up, about to take that out. So the highs on the Qs are 574. 574.63, and right here we're trading right now 572. Let's just call that. So you're $2 away, $2.50 away from taking out new all-time highs here on the Nasdaq. So to sit here and try to short some of these names, I don't think it's necessarily a good call, especially with Donald Trump giving some concessions to these bigger stocks and whatnot there, like in Apple. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening. But yeah, some exciting plays coming today, that's for sure. Open Door, maybe a day 2 play. Palantir, a day 3 play. Everything's happening right now in the right space for tech names.
Dude, Dutch Bros?
No.
Neither. Everyone loves coffee, as we very much know around here. Here's Dutch Bros this morning. $70 gets touched in the pre-market there. Monstrous on a decent-sized beat here as well. Not a lot of volume behind this, though. I mean, some of the figures, 58 cents. That was for Duolingo. 26 cents per share. Sales of 415.8 million. Beating estimates of 403 million, so easily topping here for Bros.
Fantastic. Look here, Brendo, 20% in the pre-market, and you've got a lot of analysts chiming in after earnings. Morgan Stanley maintaining their coverage with overweight rating, but boosting that price target from 80 to 84. Also, the likes of Bank of America Securities also raising their price target to $84. So fantastic look here in the pre-market, and taking out some declines there. Looked like we had been basically selling off from June onwards, Brendo, on Dutch Bros. Nice to see a little bit of a recovery.
Just double checking here. Beyond Meat, another one we haven't mentioned yet. Yeah, Dutch Bros not really that high on the short percent. It's about 7% as of the beginning of August here. BYND, on the other hand, as we know, still 32.5% short for Beyond Meat, guys. Missing today for BYND.
The meme days were a lot of fun for anybody that was trading. And this was one of those, stocks. Didn't matter if it was going up or down, like it was just, it was tradable and it was good. It's unbelievable how far this has fallen. Maybe it's not unbelievable, but it's just a gigantic disappointment. Well, I'm just gonna say what we always say about this. Oftentimes you're like, oh, this is a good dip buy. I don't understand why it's down. Let's catch the bid, right? Like you were just mentioning Eli Lilly. I was like, I don't know why Amazon's so far down. I'm buying out the there's certain situations for that. There's the opposite to that situation is, well, they might have a product that gets used, but I don't know why it was up, and the hedgies just love to short it. And so to me, the only time this is exciting is when there's an opportunity to fade it. And if there's no opportunity, when I say fade, I just mean like when it's in an uptrend, try to catch like a reverse. That's the name of the game for something like this. Because today we want to be talking about bros. Today we want, even like Peloton's actually up there. Peloton's chart's actually not even that bad. Beyond Meat's atrocious. There's plenty of other things that look really good today. I was just turning to Sean, like if there's a name that's down that I'm trying to figure out, it's why the heck Fortinet's down 20%, 22%, 23%. Like that's worth trying to figure out. But why Beyond Meat's languishing doesn't surprise me. at all. And the days that it gives you the big moves, those are your opportunities to maybe try to revert to get in on that trend. But this is a name that's shocking me, is Fortinet. Really didn't have all that bad of a quarter, and they're getting absolutely rinsed. And was looking for like an SSR level, but didn't really, like once you're already through 75, it's at 74.5, so it's like you're kind of already under that level, like maybe down into the 70s or somewhere in the low 70s. Shocking one to me for Fortinet.
Yeah, I mean, I recently, of course, bought Palo Alto, so we'll have to wait to see if that one can come back in. I always talk about trying to buy best of breed. So if anything on cybersecurity is starting to go to the downside, you want to look at a Zscaler as well. ZS, isn't that Zscale? Yeah, there it is, Zscaler right there. You want to look at this name if it does come back in. CrowdStrike's been obviously a pretty hot name as well. As there's the dip down. Maybe I should have bought some Zscaler instead of some PanW. But remember, we bought Palo Alto because of this CyberArk deal, so it's a little bit of a different situation happening right there. So, but yeah, so that's Zscaler, and then the other one, CRWD as well, 450. So I think there's a lot of good names. And then the ETF that if you're interested in getting any of these, there's a few cybersecurity ETFs for sure, but the hack ETF, you're such a hack, that's decent. I mean, that's had a huge move as well. So if you want to do a little bit of research, this would be the name to play, I believe, in this space anyways, right now for an ETF. So maybe you guys can put in the chat if there are any other ideas for those ETFs. I'm going to, the thing is, see, this is the thing, like I always load up the CIBR. Oh, is it CYBR?
No, it's actually, it's I don't know why.
I'm going to get this going right now. 4,700 of you watching, 383 likes. Hit the like button, man. Neil and I both wore pink for you guys today, so get going. Maybe we're trying to,
that's
wait a
more
minute.
Salmon than
I could do what's for lunch today. Okay, it's not salmon. Okay, so that's good. So
that would be epic if it was, actually.
Yeah, this is.
I like salmon.
Yeah, this is both salmon. Mine's more like an unhealthy salmon.
Mine's
Yours
deeper.
is a little bit of a redder salmon.
Mine's red, yeah.
Right there. But anyways, hit the like. There it is. 500 likes right away. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, get part of the chat. That's what made me think about this, because Neil and I are always looking over here to, very, very manly. Thank you, Mike, for that. Right there. Yeah, only a confident man gets away looking the way I do. So just get in the chat here. That's what's all good. That's where we get all these fun jokes from, and we can, get some trading ideas from you guys as well in the chat. So, go join that. Make sure you hit the like, to subscribe, and be part of this great community, as we do this every single day.
Every day.
Except for tomorrow, when it's going to be Neil and Obi, and I will be off tomorrow.
Should I say, oh boy?
That kind of...
No.
I'll leave that with you guys again. All right. So thanks to everybody for doing this. And we're going to now go over to Sharif, check out the market, check out the rundown, and get going with only 30 minutes, 27 minutes left before we get that bell rung. But the bell cannot be rung the way it was yesterday, because we had
best bell ring ever.
Raheem's
Not even
kid
close.
there.
Not even close.
Ringing that bell.
So
It was a great bell.
There's certain things you just picture in your mind, you smile. It's just so much fun. And especially because we've known Raheem for a long time now, right? So it's always fun, especially you get the glint in the eye of like a new parent. Anyways, let's go back and talk about the markets here. It's gonna be a good day.
Told her editing sucked.
Yeah, it's not fiber.
63.72, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract. The overnight low is 63.64. So we're already, basically holding that level. We're currently trading at 64.10, Brendo. So it looks like we maybe have taken that 6,400 point area. If we hold 6,400 at the open, let's use that as support. And if we continue trading above there, the overnight high goes to 26, but I'll say 64.50, Brendo, as resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description of this video. Top link in the description will get you to the sign up page for the watch list. It's free. Just go grab it. Why not? We'll touch on a few things here this morning, moving around. Obviously, Apple going to be the major headline, I think, on most people's mind. We'll start things off here with Intel. If you missed it early on this morning, President Trump up bright and early on Truth Social, saying that Intel's recently appointed CEO needs to resign immediately. He's highly conflicted.
Yeah, I love the choice of words there. Let's talk about what he's referring to here. So Lip Bhutan, the new CEO, he's come under scrutiny as a result of deep venture and boardroom ties to over 600 Chinese tech companies between 2012 and 2024. His firm, Walden International, reportedly invested about $200 million, up to $2.2 billion in Chinese startups, including at least 8 firms with alleged PLA ties. Unproven, these are the reports. Tan partnered with China Everbright Limited and other state-backed groups and semiconductor-focused funds, some as well tied to these to the PLA. Some of these partners were later added to the U.S. entities list. As a former CEO, also of Cadence Systems, Cadence had a bit of an issue. Here's what it was. Tan led the company during the illegal tech exports to a Chinese military university, Brendo, a sanctioned PLA-linked chip maker. Cadence also pleaded guilty, paid fines, deepening the concerns about oversight and compliance during Tan's leadership. And here's the deal. As of 2025, he held leadership roles or ownership stakes in dozens of Chinese firms, according to public records. And then he was attacked yesterday as well by Senator Tom Cotton and others, demanding explanations from Intel's board, citing risks to taxpayer-funded tech projects. So a lot of deep ties.
Yeah, I mean, the CEO might be conflicted. I think the stock is equally conflicted. I mean, this is a weekly chart. The guys were looking, I mean, if you zoom out, it goes back in much, much further than this. But, I mean, this is simply just last summer. We've gone nowhere on Intel, guys, just bouncing along 20.
Well, under 20 is where the bounce has been, technically. So, like, it's like 18 to $18.50. Anything under 19 has generally been, like, that's where you're going to get the win on the stock. But remember this, though. It did the same thing for a long while at, like, 25, where, you know what, the problem with that Intel is you have to put up a higher time frame chart to try to demonstrate this. Like, the daily chart will just be a complete mess. Like, it did a similar thing at 25 to give you a bit of a bounce. And then what ended up happening? When it lost 25, now we're in this range. And now all of a sudden that support is exactly what you can't get through and is resistance. That means it's stair-step to the downside. So regardless of the fact that this doesn't seem like it's anything new other than he's actually asking for the CEO to leave as opposed to just calling out, same thing that was mentioned at the beginning. Anyways, it doesn't really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be looking for the short here. I'm just looking up to make sure, yeah, like there's a little bit of a slight down move in AMD and NVIDIA, but those are still all gapped to the upside. Pretty much everything is gapped up, despite the fact there was the 100% tariff talk, which as long as you're building in the US, which TSM and Samsung do, and at the end of the day, everyone's moving some manufacturing to the US. So as long as it's pretty standard, I think most of the chip names are safe. Pull back into it's usually prior support that I like, but with the news here, you got to let this one settle down. It already broke that 19.8, so I kind of eyeballed and put 2025 on the note, like the afternoon support level. As long as it's under that, I'm going to look for trend breaks, reversals, allow it to make a bit of a top. Just not really favorable. We talked about the other names in the chip space. Rather try to go long them. If you're feeling frisky, at least your risk to reward isn't all that bad down here. But I'm still looking short.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I actually bought Intel in and around these levels like 8 months ago. So stupid. But yeah, look, I mean, just looking at the stock, I still think you want to short if you get back into these levels from yesterday. I mean, I always just try to make it as simple as possible. If there's no good stories here, then there's no good stories. And, I thought that the investment in the United States by Apple and sort of this build US first and all that, Intel was going to be part of that. And it looks like now, you're getting shots fired at management. So it's not a great look here for Intel. I do understand that we're up 50 cents right now, and that's kind of interesting. And, the market has also bounced from its lows. So that's, par for the course. As what Neil said, I still think I'm looking the other way. I think I'm looking short, but it has to get back up into some of these levels. I could see this name going green, and I don't want to short this off the open. Intel's too tough down in and around these areas. There's easier trades with just better momentum in it, right? I mean, sure, you get gaps and you get some decent moves, but then it kind of just hangs out for a while. Intel is not super exciting for me down here. I am a much more of an AMD. Oh, I've been too busy with other things here and haven't actually been focusing too much on the sticky note, but AMD is the play for me, 167. I wrote down 167.50 break, so if we can break above here on AMD, then we want to go long. I mean, the high has been 167. We might have to use that as our breaking spot there, so we'll figure that out, but 167 right now for AMD is more on my mind. I'll be much rather trading names that are at all-time highs, like an NVIDIA, if I'm going to go long in the chip space. So yeah, Intel for me is a stay away. You know, until we hold 20 for sure, and I can use that as a base, like as support. I want to trade this name north of 20, using 20 as support. So for me, AMD and NVIDIA, much more on my radar than Intel. And I will just tighten up this sticky note and get it out to you. I see people asking for this, so we'll get that going for you ASAP.
All right, if you missed it yesterday after the close, it ended up being about 5:15, I think 5:20, when they actually did the press conference in the Oval Office with Tim Cook and President Trump, obviously talking about the investments and the increase in investment. If you missed it, going from 500 to 600 billion going into manufacturing in the U.S. from Apple. That's a 2-day look now. Here we are back to 220, top end of the range once again on a higher time frame.
Yeah, that's a technical level too,
Huge.
Brendo. So we're going to have to see if we can clear that. Let's talk about what they did. Brendo mentioning a lot of that. They're going to spend another $100 billion over 4 years on U.S. suppliers and companies. That adds to the $500 billion commitment that they made in February, totaling $600 billion by 2029. And CEO Tim Cook says the goal here is to build end-to-end U.S. supply chain. They're also launching the American Manufacturing Program. That's what they're titling it. And it basically is going to be them partnering with Corning for the iPhone glass. That's out in Kentucky. Coherent, that makes the Face ID lasers, Brendo. And then Global Wafers, Applied Materials, Texas Instruments, Samsung, Global Foundries, Broadcom. These are all some of the American-based companies that Apple's going to be doing business with and building with. So we'll have to see exactly how that goes. Another $2.5 billion, Brendo, to expand Corning's U.S. glass production. Additional tools will be installed at the Texas Instruments factory in Utah and Texas. And Apple's building AI servers in Texas and expanding data centers, North Carolina, Iowa, Nevada, Oregon, all over the map there. And Trump announced Apple will be exempt from the 100% chip tariffs due to its U.S. investments. And Apple, more specifically and more importantly, Brendo, avoids the India tariff hikes because they're going from 25 with another 25, so that'll be a 50 total. That would have eaten at margins. And we know most of these U.S. destined or shipped iPhones are coming from India now, so that would be another 50%.
Yeah, Corning was among the most beneficiary after the close yesterday of the Apple suppliers on this note as well. Tim Cook arriving at the Oval Office with a one-of-one gold-plated Apple logo from Corning Glass, gold-plated Apple logo.
And the gold is so Trump because have you seen the design of his New York?
I mean, even the Oval Office, the
it's
color
all gold.
Yeah. No, look great. Apple guys looking pretty good here.
Yeah. The other thing too is, well, we were talking about the AMD NVIDIA around the same price. Not that these are the same thing, but Apple and Amazon are getting pretty close as well. I just wanted to show that this daily wall that was there at about 215 and 216. It just got, like, this gap up has smashed it big time. So that's gone. Even if you were to pull back, you could pull all the way back into the 15, 16 area, and that's where I want to be looking for the long trade. Just get that out of the way. Like I said, I don't know, I still prefer Amazon, but it's the kind of news story that it hits like right after I bought Amazon on earnings. Was like, oh, well, that's going to be good momentum. This is going to be good momentum for Apple. And as long as it holds this wall, which was huge, it was from all the way from April it resisted this the first time, and we're talking about August, and we're only now gapping through when the market's been making highs forever. So that's a big, big level that we're chewing through. It is trend down, so the VWAP, like I put in the note also, if we just start holding, like if you break out, the dip never comes in, and I don't actually get it because I'm not taking a breakout on the stock, then I look for the pullbacks and these chances to get it off of the volume-weighted average price if it trends up. I don't suspect it would be as strong as it was yesterday, so the contact on the uptrend, I think, can get to that volume-weighted average price. But yeah, I think it looks like it's all systems go. Just as a note, because I don't really see any other Mag 7 names on there, while we're talking about it, Amazon in a similar regard, got back above its 50-period moving average. That sits at 218.5 today. doesn't seem the most likely, but it's broken away from an earnings resistance level. So plays back into, the day one earnings and the day two earnings highs on Amazon. Actually red on the session, Amazon, into a weak market. So I really could see this one pull back into that 18 level.
Apple, oh boy. Okay, so I have Apple as my number one trade today. It's been huge for the last couple weeks. I guess last couple weeks I've been looking at it off this $200 mark, and it's given us some great days to trade. It's given us some slow days as well, but I don't think that will be today. I'm actually surprised we're not up at the highs right now. So the note that I'm just polishing up, I apologize it's late, I've been doing a few other things, but this 220 right there break, I wrote down 221 thinking that we would be at 221. So it's more just kind of like a pre-market break that I was looking at right there for Apple. So that would be 220 at this point. So I really like this long getting through there. So yeah, let's wait for it. Making the most of it all for Apple. I mean, getting that announcement, we had that huge move yesterday, the $600 billion. I'm not just going to go through everything that everyone's already talked about, but just for a trade, we always use a 200 period as drop down. So if Apple, if it doesn't break 220, we're not in. And it's that simple. We don't have to chase the dream here. If it comes back in and it wants to give us something around 214 or 215 again, fine. I mean, I'm all about that. I mean, now we have the news. I like the story here. We've come in with days where there's been like this euphoria about certain names and they've fallen back in again. So I don't want to get too wrapped up that this is like the green light for Apple. They still have some issues, right? I mean, the competition's still huge. Samsung, Huawei, everyone's producing these huge phones right now. Their phones are going to be more expensive. It's not like this has solved, a lot of their problems. By the time this all gets going, sure, Corning most of the glass they said, in their products will be made in the United States. That's great. But for now, that's not the case. So that all has to be built out. So whether or not this takes a couple of years, it's only a 4-year investment. But yeah, I think the more products you build in the United States, naturally the more expensive it's going to be. But I don't think Apple owners are that, I don't know if the word's sticky, but about the price. Like if the new iPhone is $50 more or $100 more,
buying it.
I feel like every year, every manufacturer just keeps on slowly increasing because the cost of goods keep going higher, and it doesn't really matter where you're producing your product. But I think this is a good thing. I think you want to be on the right side of the president, and right now that appears to be it, right? I mean, he introduced Tim Cook as one of the tech geniuses of this world, which I'm not even sure that's true.
It's a weird statement to make.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the back of Steve Jobs here, so that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're getting praise from the right spot. Yeah. So I would say it's a long rather than a short, and it just hovering here around 219. It's not giving me much to do, but we'll wait for those imbalances to come out at 925, and when they do, then it's game on. So yeah, excited for this play here today, and it's sticky note's going to be out, and I just have to get it done real quick.
All right, crypto up next. IBIT up big time here, or not big time, but nicely in the pre-market this morning. A couple things to mention this morning. Bitcoin to hit 150,000 by the year end, according to this analyst, also pointing to a bunch of other opportunities to jump on board with as well. We'll also get an executive order signed later this afternoon with regards to being able to hold these assets within retirement funds.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to cover right now, but I also want to mention Tom Lee, Brendo. He's pounding the table right now on ETH. Giving ETH about a $25,000 price target by the end of this year. Very lofty and very speculative, but I want to mention that to everybody. But today we expect Donald Trump to sign an executive order allowing private equity, crypto, real estate, and alternative assets into 401ks. It aims to unlock the $12.5 trillion that remain in retirement account markets. The order directs the Labor Department to revise guidance under the ERISA laws to support alternative asset inclusion. It's going to be the Labor Secretary, the SEC, as well as other regulatory bodies are going to get involved here. And the SEC specifically will be asked to facilitate participant-directed access to alternative investments. And advocates for this argue alternative assets offer higher return potential and better reflect the shrinking public markets. But there are risks. There's going to be higher fees, possible illiquidity, as well as legal liability for plan administrators unless they're given legal protection by statute. The move is also seen here as a potential, like what they're calling a gold rush. Institutional investors like pension funds, they're tapped out, Brent. Brendo, on private equity, making 401ks kind of their next growth frontier, and firms are eager to tap the millions of retail retirement accounts for fresh capital inflows.
Coinbase, among the equity side, looking pretty good here this morning. Actually just made a session high above 314 there, guys, for coin.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the problem with crypto, in my opinion. Like, this Tom Lee guy's just self-serving. I mean, it's not, like, obviously he thinks that. The guy just opened up an Ethereum trust with this BMNR. So this guy's going to get rich, and he's going to dump it once it goes up. And and in my opinion, that's the problem with crypto right now. It's that you're just getting guys like these huge whales that are pretending to be all smart-like, and they're just like, oh, I have $1 billion or $3 billion invested in Ethereum. Let me talk it up. And it's fine and it's great, but like, really, I feel like a lot of the sheep just follow these guys everywhere they go, and it's been good. It's been a good money-making opportunity. I mean, I may own the most crypto here out of everybody. I have no idea, and I'm talking like this. I'm a crypto bull myself, but to me, this is the problem. And there goes BMNR again. So congratulations, Tom Lee. You're making more money again here today. So just keep on talking up your book, and it's fine, and there's absolutely no problem with that, right? So that's what happens in the crypto space. You know, again, I like everything about this, but, you know, for me to hear a guy like Tom Lee pumping up Ethereum and then we use it, what he says, as if he's God, I don't understand that. You know, if you're going to talk to Tim Cook about Apple, what do you think he's going to talk about? You know, the strengths of Apple. So, yeah, so I take it for what it is. And to me, this is just a pump, which will eventually be a dump. We've already seen that happen right here with BMNR. And if anybody here around here can tell us what Ethereum actually is, then that would be great. But until that happens, I don't know. So that's my little thought there about it. And look, I own crypto, and I own Ethereum. This is the part of stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this has been true since the beginning.
Yep.
So like, as far as I'm concerned, it's a reason why, like I said, I have over 5% of my portfolios in crypto, but the overwhelming majority of it is in Bitcoin, because I think that's the more stable. There's a limited supply, and it makes a lot of sense. And look, ultimately, at the end of the day, ETH is having a good run because of the stablecoin push, and that's the platform that they're built on. It's getting a good run. I've said it before, so we're not going to harp on it too long. I don't trust these treasury plays just in terms of how they run. I think if you want to own long term, just own Bitcoin. I don't trust the miners. Some of them are going into holding, which makes some sense because they got to pivot somewhere. But as far as looking at IBIT today, 115.5 and 116, like prior, I always say prior resistance into support. It's been a little boring on Bitcoin, but it's been doing these moves. I'm just going to show you. It's been doing these big moves where it'll just sit there kind of doing nothing, and then you'll have big breakout. It'll sit there not doing all, and then boom, break down. And it did it as well, like languishing in the morning, and then it gets going, and then boom, and then you find a level, and then you go. And so that's the kind of play that I want to look for. Like, I don't want to be looking at Bitcoin in the first 15 to 20 minutes. I want it to do some kind of consolidation, double bottom like this, and then catch that reversion long or that long off VWAP. And then you get that push that happens seemingly later on in the session. So yeah, it's gapped up a little bit here, and it's above the volume weighted average price. I'd maybe let it meander in the first half an hour, do the nothing that sometimes we see it do. And if that's the case, try to catch it off one of these little consolidated bottoms, like a little breakout later on in the day. That's the way I want to try to treat crypto. And the reason I say this is because I always notice Joe caching, and like Bitcoin does nothing, and all of a sudden in the middle of the midday, it does a big move. And I'm like, yo, that's sometimes the best time when it's seemingly doing nothing, and you get a little late break or a double bottom. Good technical setups for IBIT, but not always in the first 30 minutes.
Airbnb just about to make a new low here. A couple of analyst notes just popping up on my screen about Airbnb. So a little bit of a downtick back to 121, but initial move was higher on the report itself until they came out and said they're concerned about what is to come in demand and the uncertainty, the favorite word of all of these guys.
Exactly, Brendo. Margin and outlook are really why we're down here in the pre-market. Despite the beat, here's what happened. 103, $1.03 EPS, beating the 94 expected on net income now of $642 million. Both are increases year over year. Likewise with revenue, $3.1 billion ahead of that $3.03 billion expected, and a 13% year over year. The growth was driven by night stayed, Easter timing, and slightly higher average daily rates. So some pricing pressure there to the high side. Margins, though, for them are under pressure. They warned that it would be lower in Q3 and Q4 year over year due to what they're calling, Brendo, investment in new business lines. There's also $200 million that they're using to expand their new experiences and services such as tours, classes, things like that, these auxiliaries. The CFO says these segments won't generate, though, near-term revenue, but are part of a longer-term strategy. And the focus really remains on scaling core platforms while testing new offerings. Now, here's what they're talking about, the guide. It's not really that bad of a guide. Q3 revenue going to be $4.02 to $4.1 billion. The estimate there is $4.05, so it's slightly soft with gross bookings supposed to be around $23.5 billion. That's ahead of the 22 2/3 expected by the street. And here's how they're doing basically in their different geographies. North American demand improved monthly throughout Q2. Here's the kind of the weak part, though, and we kind of knew this as Canadians. Canada to U.S. travel remains very weak, but they're saying Canadians are booking more domestic international trips. Overall, travel remains resilient.
If you zoom out on Airbnb, you got to zoom way out. This is a weekly chart. You got to go back to middle of last year, I guess fall of last year. 115, 114, guys. Bit of a level here for Airbnb.
Yeah, and I think it's trending like it wants to head there. It's a little disappointing to see it not hold up that 125 level. It just feels like this could be headed to some double digits on a momentum basis at the end of the day. I was saying I use a lot more. Well, for the first time we used Verbo going to the States, and I feel like it was always like we only considered Airbnb. Could some of this be concerns about the labor market? I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's not a lot of volume. I doubt we get back to 125. That's the big level to play off of. So I think this one is going to end up having to be a pass. We're going to talk about Datadog later. We'll work some other things in after I'll let you guys talk about the rest.
I actually have nothing to say really about Airbnb, so I didn't look at it here today. We did talk about it yesterday, and I thought that some of the headwinds would be, just the overall feelings that some people get about, renting out or leasing out your space to one or two night people that don't have the responsibility potentially for the space and for the community. But Airbnb, I have to hands up here. I didn't look at it yet today, so. But all right, let's go back over. See, there's only 2 minutes left. So why don't we just go find out about Datadog and then we'll move on.
Report for Datadog among the more positive this morning to the upside after a beat right across the board. They even increased their forecast here.
Yeah, and they're talking about AI and cloud as the reason, Brendo. They said there's a surge in AI, enterprise, and cloud investments fueling demand for their platforms. Clients like Samsung, Nasdaq, and Comcast are using Datadog to monitor and secure cloud infrastructure. 125 new innovations are going to be launched this year, like real-time analytics and cloud observability. So good luck.
Back to, I was going to bring up this chart. Here's the weekly chart. Back to this key resistance point, though, here, guys, for DDOG.
55 monster resistance on DDOG. I think if it gets up there, you got to think, well, it is on my chart. If it gets up there, first thought is usually a mean reversion. It already did that move, however, so this might end up being a wait and see at that 155 because it's already given you the move, and it did so like right at about 820. But like I want a trend break. Like it goes up into that level. I want some kind of a trend break on Datadog. And just for a lot of people asking about Firefly, the IPO, there's a couple IPOs. I think Fly Aerospace that's the bigger play. I wasn't a huge fan. Like Voyager's only gone down since coming to market, so I'm not as jazzed about this as we were about Figma taking the opening print or Circle or CoreWeave taking the opening print. So I'm not planning on automatically just getting in the opening print. Doesn't mean I wouldn't trade it. Like if it opens up and I see 1 million shares on an even dollar level bid, I might just try to punch long. But I'm not taking the opening print on Fly because I don't think it has the same hype. So I don't want that auto entry to the trade.
All right, just a review. We only have a minute left. I do have an order to go on AMD, so let's wait to see if AMD breaks the top side right now. It's trying to get going right here. I wrote down 167.50, so let's see if that goes for AMD. It looks like 167 might be good. We have Apple as well trying to go upside there. Yeah, 167.50 is fine for me. Apple right now as well trying to go. We have that 220 break looking like that for Apple with only now 30 seconds left. A name that we didn't talk about that I like as well, Disney right now breaking through that 116 area. I think that could be a good play for us as we get day 2 love for Disney. I'm just setting that order up right now as well. So yeah, we're getting ready to go, Neil, and it should be a good day for us one more time here today as we look to take advantage of some of these pretty aggressive moves in the market with the Nasdaq being up 0.75. Here we go, man. Palantir to 182 break long could be an impending.
Yeah, we got the bell brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. It is Thursday. Let's go get it, Adair, ring it.
All right.
And there it is. The market is open. There were no notable imbalances. I was double checking just to make sure that we got that for you guys. I know we're a little bit late on that. That is my bad. Whoa, Palantir's allowed to go down?
Yeah, it's going down right now.
All right, so Palantir's starting to pull back in. Prior close on Palantir, 179.5.
Yep.
As long as it holds the prior close, if it's green, then I don't have a pun for that. As long as it holds the prior close, I want to look long. There's nothing that.
I know, yeah. I was waiting for the pun, but we didn't get it there. So, okay, 166. So right now, AMD. I am still looking for Palantir. We'll go long it around here if we get it. There goes AMD right now, finally breaking through 167.60s. So, yeah, we're good to go right now on advanced micro devices. We're long at 65s right now. So let's get something out on the upside if we can afford to do that. It is trying to go. We are also long right now Disney, seeing if that wants to print a little bit higher. Why not, Disney? Let's see if we want to get through this 116 and do something. I'm going to put a stop at 115.50 on Disney just in case that breaks. But yeah, so far so good. We made a little bit of a play there on advanced micro devices. This was our first trade through 167.50. Sorry, we're long now on advanced micro devices, and it's trying to go. Disney's not going, so we'll have to wait to see what's going on there. I don't even think it's open yet, but right now it's through the moon, to the moon, hopefully. Sorry, with AMD right now. Fly me to the moon, or you're going to come right back down and screw me up. But there goes Disney. Disney's not open. We got punched in before this stock actually opened, so that's a quick problem for me there on Disney. There goes Palantir.
Palantir just rinsed. It just absolutely rinsed. The woe was actually Palantir rinsed 179.5.
70 cents in the money.
But DraftKings just dropped $4 off the open.
Ooh,
that was this was the woe.
There's Dollar Club.
Wow, that is insane. I don't know what's going on with that bad boy. Trying to get back into Palantir as it's now bouncing off 180. It bounced right off of that 179.5.
We're $1 in the money on Palantir. We're $1 in the money on AMD right now. AMD is a huge trade, guys. Again, you know what, Marissa, man, I don't know if I could take tomorrow off. Palantir is just really starting to go now. We've got a great trade, obviously, on this one as well, as there goes the dollar. We told you we were going to get this 179. We got 179.50 right there. Nice little play there for PLTR. Let's see if we could still continue to go northbound on that one. But it's really just, I shouldn't have put that order in on Disney, considering the fact that it's not even open yet. So we do have to be careful with what we're doing now on Disney. I'm just going to put another piece out. I don't want to get completely killed on this one when it's not even open yet. So we're going to have to watch out.
How is it not open
for Disney? I don't know. It hasn't opened. We got punched in. I wish I would have saw that because it's taking away some of the luster here. But Palantir right now is $1.50 in the money and trying to go. So we've got the goods, man. Palantir is an absolute monster. Welcome to the jungle, man. If you're trading Palantir, it's right here. So
NVIDIA just broke 182.
Yeah, we love all that, man. And AMD right now is huge. Palantir is huge, and just Disney we got to wait for.
I still can't believe what's going on in DraftKings. That is one ridiculous move to the downside on DraftKings. NVIDIA just broke. I want to dip on AMD ideally. Actually, I better cancel that order. If AMD dips to my level, that would be an example of I don't want it big time. Why didn't I get my other fill? I tried to get this through the even, and I also tried to break it. Oh, I did get it. That was mad late. You guys just saw that live. I got the fill. I just got the fill on this sucker at like 10s as well, in addition to the breakout on NVIDIA. Trying to get that quarter, then the $0.50, the usual. We'll see where this one does end up going. All of the chips, remember, all of the chips gapped up and Intel was to the downside, but just going back over to DraftKings, that is way too big of a move. That's too late. I went over to NVIDIA for a split second, and my first thought was, you've got to try to catch a reversion on DraftKings. The candle, that's a $1 candle, and then the next candle is $2. Bruh. That's absolute insanity. So NVIDIA goes only to about 30 to 40 up there, now trying to resume back to the upside. I'm trying to get that next fill at the 50 level, and Palantir just dropped back in. So I just tried to get it on the way back at Palantir at 80s. I threw my stop at underneath 50. I should have been giving it to 179 even, but we'll see if it can hold that 50 a second time. Chips looking strong. I don't know what the heck is going on with DraftKings, but that was absolute insanity off the jump.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so insanity is right. Okay, so our board is gone again. I guess you're probably out of Palantir. It's coming right back in again. So it will return, says Andre. So the board shall return. All right, so the market is coming back in a little bit, as is Palantir. But again, you saw we didn't take a huge position on this trade, but we took $2 on it. So that was so far so good. We still do have 40% of that trade on. So we do have to watch out for a 179 break, which is like imminent right now on that play, so we got to be careful with that. We just missed that dip by opportunity into 179, darn it. But okay, there it goes, nice, and we moved right back. At least we got some longs there. We got long at 179.50, but Palantir retracing back to the upside. That's too bad that we had missed that one down there, but there it goes again. PLTR still making money for us, so there it is, nice trade. All right, so we're getting close, man. The 650 is coming back into play here for Eli Lilly. I like the stock, I like the move here. I don't like the move downside. I mean, obviously, if you like the stock, you can't like down 11%. But I was I like the move because I'm looking to get long right around here, around 650. I'm gonna have to double check. I can't go back in to my account now and do that. But yeah, look at that reload. I don't know. It doesn't look like you got it right there, but we got reloaded on Palantir as it came back into 179. So we take that again right there and put some more money into that name. But yeah, just these three plays so far here today. Not 3 for 3. We're going to go 2 for 3 because we have to wait on Disney, which Disney came right back up there. We were able to get some out here around 115.80, 116s or so off of a little bit of a reload once we reopened, but Disney's not working out, man. The market's pulling back quite nice here, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the market's really starting to come back in. I'm just going to throw, I don't think I'm going to take DraftKings until it settles down on the opening range. It was an unexpected move, and I think you're nuts if you're buying it just right up here after a $2.50 bounce. Like that was just insane. Missed opportunity. Intel, I only wanted to look short. Intel went screaming at the open with the rest of the chip names, so a rising tide 100% lifted all ships, rose all boats, or whichever way you're supposed to say it, because someone corrected me on that last time. So I went to go for it at the prior close. I missed, complete whiff at 2040, and then got it as it came through 2030. I'm going to play it back into the volume weighted average price, which is at 19.9. If the chips are strong, I don't want to fade it too much. I still think this is news that we know. Like, I don't, it just doesn't seem like it's anything new on Intel, but I want to favor the short side of the trade. And it set that one up at the prior day close, so that's all I want to pay attention to. The other thing we have not looked at, which is weird, is Apple.
Oh, yeah.
It bounced off.
It
bounced off 216.
Oh, yeah.
So it bounced off 216.
That was a level.
Yeah, that was a level, but I got very distracted by that wick on DraftKings at the open, wanting to catch that reversion. So that's a bit of a missed opportunity here in Apple off 216. But only looking long as long as it holds that level. So just got to look for the next trade. I think if it can hold VWAP, pre-market highs, or sorry, pre-market support, or even just start breaking out here above the open range high. Those are all ways to be able to get into it. NVIDIA's stalling a little bit here at the $0.50. I just noticed it pulled back, held pre-market high, and is now stalling. Oh, let's start going back a little bit here. But yeah, now it's starting to go back to the upside. Let's go over to Adara. We just saw that heavy wick on NVIDIA, but it's right back to the highs. Adara?
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, Hertz on the move here. This is another earnings day one play. Smaller than expected loss per share and a sales beat. HTZ right now kind of oscillating a bit, but nice push up here right off the open for HTZ. Just a reminder, we do have wholesale inventories at 10 a.m. Back to you.
Disney, yeah, we'd be absolutely to the moon, as we started seeing before, if we didn't have Disney. Everything else working really well, man. We got reloaded on AMD down there, as you can see. Right, if I can zoom in a little bit. So nice little reload there. We're having a little bit of a problem with 168, but yeah, 99 problems. Apparently 168 was not one, so let's just wait to see as we're bouncing around a little bit off of it. We did make that move. Okay, there we go. I took some out there at 06s. We'll see if it wants to continue to go a little bit higher. So that's a good reload there. So $1 there, Palantir $1. I mean, there's the reload on Palantir, just banging its head right now against VWAP. So we'll have to try to do our best. Oops, I just typed in Palantir.ny. Palantir on the Nasdaq,
Used to be.
of course. Yeah, it used to be. Let's take out something again here at 50. There it goes again, man. It's a hot dog kind of a day one more time here. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us live at Trader TV.
Oh,
so,
Apple's gone.
yeah, Apple's. Yeah, well, we love Apple, but we're going to wait to see
3% on Apple.
Go ahead to Neil's screen for Apple there.
Look, it's everything. The Nasdaq just broke the highs. Amazon just got to the high. Apple continues to rally in here. Oh, you know what? Like I said, it's everything. No, Meta's actually down and Meta's red. So it's not the entire Mag 7. Try to cover as much as we can. NVIDIA just took 183, so it's continuing to rally. The chips are all strong. We didn't even talk about TSM. What's crazy about this is TSM was up 5%, is now up 6.5%. We didn't even look at it, but the chips are all strong. Like I said, with the exception of Intel, these are all absolutely flying on the back of the story being 100% tariff, which apparently is not going to apply to anybody, right?
Does it ever really?
Well, it's like who actually is going to end up? Everyone has production in the U.S., so then everyone's exempt. Basically, I don't know. That's my take on it. It's like who actually ends up paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. Hot take right there. We're just waiting for Disney to break. I mean, if it breaks 115, man, we got to get out of that one for sure. Here's a nice dollar to the north side for AMD again on the reload. So like two of the plays here. Palantir's absolutely huge. AMD is what it is right now. Eli Lilly, just a quick check on that one. Okay, here we go. So we're probably filled now on our long-term account, which would be fine by me, of course, as we want that fill. So Disney's trying to get back. Oh boy, we're huge now, man. This is absolutely the day we're looking for again, Neil. What is even going on? Tomorrow might not be as exciting because you'll have Obi here. You'll hear some old boys, and hopefully you'll have some good trades as well. But there it goes right now, man. We've got AMD and we have Fuego right now on that stock. As there it goes, man. 167.50. Your number one trade idea right there on the sticky note. Neil's got NVIDIA. Neil's got Intel. And we've got Palantir. So right now, just with Palantir and AMD, it's $4 in the money, and it's going well. So we're happy with the way everything's going today. Thank you for joining us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And if my exuberance is too much for you, it's all good. You know, we're not going to change, because if we do, then we're not here anymore, right? We got to be ourselves, and there it goes, straight there to the upside for this play as it goes, man. Yeah, I get excited when we trade and we do well. I put on more shares. We're making money. We're putting this in our pocket, and we're paying for life. So there it goes, man. Nice move to the upside here. Disney, we're just licking the wounds on this one because the other names have well made up for everything here today. It's been really good. Some of these new strategies that we're implementing have really paid off lately. So there it goes, man. Disney, let's just lick that and let the names like Disney and AMD continue to cook. Let them cook.
Let Tim cook.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, because there's no Apple today, so, but like Apple's absolutely flying like everything else. Just quickly want to show you the actual all-time high on NVIDIA. Whoops, zoom out, everybody. This chart, thank you. The all-time high on NVIDIA is right up here at that 183.5. There was a crazy wick, but it is right at this spot, so we got to try to fly off this. Look, at the end of the day, all the chips are up. I only want to be short Intel, but I can't ignore the fact that somebody is supporting this at 20 bucks. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't, but someone's buying it at 20. It's been a good short so far, but if I see this hold another time, I'm jumping out and not waiting for VWAP or anything lower. Just got to respect the strength that we're seeing. Thank you in the super chats. I know we got a bunch of them that we missed. So I'm going to try to work on some of these. Oh, that was the 40 runs in 3 games. Yeah, go Toronto Blue Jays. That's what happens when you play the worst team in the league in an absolute bandbox.
We're 20 games above 500.
Well, outside of Milwaukee, we're unbelievable. Thanks AMD, the community's helping learn after that 10K loss. Hey, get right back on the horse, find the best trades that you can. And I know we missed a couple in here. MSTR, thank you, Mark the Realtor. Twice, MSTR, have not looked at it at all. So we'll look at MSTR in a quick little minute. I still prefer to just invest in Bitcoin. I'm not an MSTR person whatsoever, but I'm sure it's having a good day because crypto's having a good day.
Yes.
But I haven't looked at MSTR, and I just generally, I'm not really a fan.
Go. Just keep on going, man, and do not stop. Do not stop. Pass go. Do not collect your 200. Do not do anything like that. Just pass go and just keep on going. There we go, man. AMD is at the high of the day. Absolutely flying, man. We are just smoke right now upside. And again, this is what we're talking about right here. It's the number one idea on the sticky note is Apple. We didn't get to that yet, but there's AMD 167.50 long. $1.50 now in the money and going higher. We like that trade, and it's working out for us. And I think that's what ideally what we're trying to do, right, is to try to make sense of everything. And right now AMD with good news. We continue to watch it from day 2 of a play, right? It is one of those things where you never know where stocks are going to go, especially on day 2 or day 3 plays. Now AMD got hit. And they took that inventory write down and whatnot, but with China and with some of these new ideas coming through right now, I like the space, and I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to buy some dips in all of this. I know you've got Nvidia right there, so all of us on this AI front, man. I mean, Palantir has been absolutely huge today for me. We're getting out of everything though, because I'm feeling like this market here, Neil.
The market's pulling back.
Yeah, it's had that huge move up, and now it's coming back. So I don't know.
There was one more thing that I wanted to mention. I was just making sure that ARM didn't flat bottom break. It's going up with the rest of the chips. I have a short play in ARM, but it's not going to happen today. Figma, right at the I didn't pay for locates today. Right at the $90 level, pulling right back under that 85, big zone. 85 is the big pivot area on Figma. Underneath, you want to favor shorts, but I don't have locates on this. At some other point, I'm going to go get them, but I have to watch out. It looks like maybe this is unreal. Why does somebody like this so much at 20 bucks? All right, I said I would get out if this was happening. If we close above 20 on this 3-minute candle, then maybe that's it, and I have to look for another opportunity in Intel, because I don't want to say it's not an iceberg order sitting there, but there's a refresher at the $20 level, which means even if they blow out the level, they're just jumping right back in there. And it's not a ton of size, but there's clearly a buyer at that 20. So if that's all we're going to be able to get is like 20, 30 into 20, then we'll just try to get another trade later. I still only want to be short this name in a general sense. But let's see if we can't get some Apple. The market dips back in. That's the one stock. All right, it's already at VWAP. Well, that happened fast. Let me see if I can weasel my way in here into Apple off the volume-weighted average price. What's going on?
I don't know. I was looking over there at Ramin. I didn't see anything, but I was acting like I saw something. So I was like, oh, my God.
I just see everyone looking at Ramin, and I don't know why.
What?
Why are we looking
Paint?
at Ramin?
Oh, was it brown or a little bit or something? Yeah. No, her shirt rubbed against one of the walls, and I think it has a little bit of paint on it. It's not.
But it's not.
It's barely noticeable.
No,
I literally didn't notice it.
Someone they touched up the walls of the bathroom. And
so that must be what it was.
No. Like a couple of days ago. On the way out, I got.
Oh, you got nailed?
No, there was a sign. I just didn't notice it.
Like an Ace of Base sign? Like there was a sign?
No,
But it did not open up.
It was
Neil's
stupid.
eyes.
There was a big wet paint sign. I was in the zone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, look, guys, I hope you're enjoying the show. Disney just keeps on doing its own Disney thing here, so we're going to have to wait to see if that wants to get upside or not. I'm literally just getting out of this one. It's too bad because we would have like 4 times our goal if we didn't have this Disney trade, but that's okay. We do have it, and you got to be responsible for all the trades that you put on, and I'm glad that we're showing you here, the possibilities of trading and that, you're able to put on some of these trades and hit your goals, especially this early. It's 9:48 right now. What's up, Adara?
Just keep an eye here on SLDP. That is Solid Power. This is another Q2 earnings name here. Inline EPS, or I guess loss per share here. Sales were a beat. They have about a 9% short float. And LAC on watch as well. Lithium Americas. Lots of these smaller names on the run today. So send you back to the guys.
Tell me.
What?
It's your turn to do a read, my guy.
Oh, well, we're born ready.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Why? Because we're savvy Canadians. And if you are a savvy, you're also a savvy Canadian, then you're looking to boost your exposure, possibly, to the S&P and the Nasdaq. Well, do it with Beta Pro's 3X daily leverage ETFs. They got built-in FX hedging. No pesky dollar moves.
Yeah,
always the wrong way.
Dollar moves.
You're going to amplify those short-term market moves, and you're going to minimize the impact of currency swings, pesky currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, you can always play both ways. These are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. And remember, decay does cause these to lose value over time.
Yeah.
Right? So they're trading vehicles, as we say, and scan the QR code you see out in front of you. Great vehicles to be able to express trades for sure. Was that another super chat?
Oh boy.
We also got, by the way,
Let's go, Disney. Do something, you suck.
NVIDIA's trying to bounce off the volume-weighted average price. What I was getting at is I'm thinking I'm going to take the breakdown in Intel. If they're holding that 20 level forever, I might just take a break underneath it. But looking for the dip buy here in NVIDIA back into the volume-weighted average price. And hopefully we get another shot to reload this name.
Look, no sticky notes tomorrow, but Obi and Neil will be here. It should be a great show. I believe Joe, are you off tomorrow? No. No, so the midday show will be hot fire as well. But right here with AMD, if you guys are wondering what this note is all about, I mean, we put it out right here. As soon as I came in today, it was going to be AMD and Apple. Apple hasn't hit our levels yet, so there's Apple 221. We'll wait for that. Palantir 182. I mean, come on, we didn't get to that level, but instead we're just dollaring the money off the bottom. And then there's your 167.50. So we're just going to do something like this. Put out like a one of these guys and say AMD, let's go, and then we'll put in here 167.50, something like that. Put in that chart there, and then just attach the sticky note. So if you ever want to start to look at that, well, we might as well hashtag it right now, sticky note right there. So all right, we'll put that out, and you guys can go have a quick look because yeah, man. I mean, obviously, I am pretty proud and happy when we look down and we have now, Neil, $2.50 in the money right now. So we'll go weed Batman on that one. And finally, we're getting some nice up. Wow, okay. All right, there's 170 we just got taken out there on AMD. So, wow. The good thing about AMD is we'll make triple on AMD what we wind up losing on Disney. So, you know, that's going to be obviously good. And, you know, as long as those ratios keep happening for your boy, it's going to be quite the eventful career next couple months for us here on this. So yeah, things just working out on that front. We did get filled on our Eli Lilly, so obviously that's continuously going lower. We did put some more money into this one here at 650, so hopefully that comes into play at some point. You know, just lots of good feels around here, and we're pretty happy to be part of all of this. So let's just keep on watching these stocks. I'm just going to keep on watching AMD just absolutely moon out right now. Again, proud of this trade and glad to have put this on. So yeah, AMD, nice move higher. Let's just let the runners run. NVIDIA is the true king of them all, and I'm glad Neil has that. I'm glad
TSM is actually. Well, oh, never mind. The news overnight actually was probably the best for TSM, and you could take a lot of chip names to the upside, but you can't go wrong with NVIDIA. AMD just is going to give you more bang for your buck these days. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bigger percentage mover. I don't know how long, probably at least until NVIDIA earnings in 2 weeks. No, check that, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, right? 2.5, whatever.
20-something.
2.5 weeks, let's just call it.
24th, maybe?
Either way, they're good long and Intel's good short. I did take this breakdown, but I broke a rule in taking it.
Ooh.
I'm taking a short underneath 20 because it was a buyer at 20, but technically I'm shorting it literally into the volume-weighted average price, which someone in the chat told me I always say the full thing unless I'm rushing. So I'm going to now go back and forth. So I'm going to look to maybe scalp this out into 1980 and not give it a lot of room because generally speaking, going short right above the VWAP doesn't make a ton of sense usually. So I'm going to go with a tight stop on this. NVIDIA is still churning, but it's running into trouble. It doesn't seem to want to break that prior high. So if we cannot break out 184, fair enough. I can get out of NVIDIA, work back into the long on a dip buy. But let's be real, everybody. what's crazy is I haven't even looked at SMCI. This is 3 points. Remember, this is a flush on earnings, rounded bottom, and now holding a higher low. So this is the name. If I get myself out of NVIDIA,
man.
I also want VWAP on SMCI. These bad boys are all flying to the upside. Chips, that is.
Wow. $3.50 now in the money on AMD. Palantir now $1 and going higher and higher and higher. So yeah, man, so far so good there today. You know, we looked at Intel and we tried to stay away from INTC there today, although oh no, it goes right into the level that we talked about. That's hilarious. We should have been short right there at $20.40. But as Neil said, man, I mean, 99 problems right now today. Trading hasn't been one for a while, but nice upside move. We'll check out what's happening with Uber. If there's any other names you guys want in the chat, we actually have something for that. I want to thank everybody who's watching right now. It's been an absolutely banger of a day, man. 1.1K likes. Get those likes going, man. We're wearing our Jays hat right now. We're in the salmon. I'm in the farm. Neil's in the wild salmon. As we keep on going to the upside, 1.1K. Let's get that going, man. I mean, we are really putting on some trades for you today, man. I don't know what else to say. Disney has been the one that hasn't worked out, but AMD, not only did we get that, we reloaded it, and there it goes, 171 now for advanced micro devices. Hey, man, maybe that story about NVIDIA and AMD being the same price, maybe that comes to fruition soon, but look, they're not the same today, that's for sure. And although NVIDIA right now hovering near its highs, still down about $1 off of its highs. AMD right now at its highs and going just a little bit higher, I feel like. So, yeah, let's just continue to support this name. Again, I like this space, and if you keep on trading in the right spaces, I think you're going to do the good things. Palantir, right now, I mean, look, I mean, Palantir is right now back at its high of the day and trying to take some out. So, at VWAP and trying to take that out. So we'll get another out here at 85. We'll just offer that, and now we'll wait to see what's going on this trade. But yeah, so far so good. Palantir, wow, Palantir, Neil, is insane right now, getting higher and higher up. Right now goes PLTR. So giddy up on that one, guys.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm getting out of the Intel. You break a rule, then you just get out of the trade. Give it the tight stop, whatever it works out to. It's absolutely fine. Like, to me, if it falls from here, selling at VWAP is never the way to go. So forget about it. If it bounces off VWAP, then that's great. NVIDIA needs to break out this high soon. Otherwise, I'm just going to be convinced that this is not happening. There's a big seller every time it gets to 183.5. So I'm giving it another chance to try to fly. We're going to go to Adair for some breaking news.
Holy shit.
Not sure where that's going to be, but it's also the market breaking the highs possible.
Oh.
It's not market related. It involves a stock called ICHR Holdings, ICHR. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz has actually apparently bought stock in the company. They design components for semiconductor capital equipment, and apparently this is a stock that has not been purchased by any kind of politician in 8 years. So interesting purchase here, ICHR, for Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz of the U.S. Back to you.
All right.
That's a random one. Do not know. Not familiar with that. But, like, I don't know. Are they getting rid of this insider buying thing? Come on, like letting people in Congress and whatever buying. I feel like that's something that needs to go. Yeah, anyways, to each their own. Yep. To each their own. I'm not going to, whatever. We've talked about that enough times.
Yeah, you guys might have heard me there. Like, this is getting to be, we are now $6 in the money on these trades that we just took with you guys all this morning. Like, not if you miss the AMD trade, it gives you the reload. It's right here. It's posted up on the sticky notes. So yeah, man, we are. I am getting excited about some of these plays. And then Palantir. You kidding me right now? You're at 182. Like, this is $3. Like, we're really just accelerating. Like, this is part of. I mean, for me, probably the best market in a long time. Like, all of these break trades seem to be working out right now, and they're not even breakout trades. That's the craziest part about them. Like, these were dip buy trades in strong names that are like easy trades. So yeah, I mean, they're really starting to flow through right now, and it's been all good. You know, the number one trade of the day for me, I thought, like, if I was going to put some money on it, I would have said Apple. There, but obviously, as you can see, we don't even have an Apple trade yet, but it is trying to make highs again, and it looks like it's not trying to. It looks like it will go through that 220.
just came back down.
Yeah, I have it up. I'm not sure of this trade here today for us on Apple. Do I like it? Yes. Am I convinced that I want to punch that long at 220 now? Probably not. Part of the game for me is not letting some of these profits disappear, and that's what it is, because I can't really trade small. Like if I'm into something, I'm going to go into it, and unless we have conviction, not really worth doing that. So I'm just going to hold off right now. We're at the largest, the greatest spot we've been at all day as these continue to fly. So now $4.50 on your trade of the day for me, anyways, with AMD. As it continues to go through the moon. The only thing is that this Disney is not doing anything. So yeah, we're probably going to get stopped out on DIS here probably quickly once it breaks through this 116 area or 115 area, and I am completely fine with that. As we've definitely put some numbers up in other spots. But okay, let's go back over and figure out what's up with Miss Adara at the desk with our 10 o'clock spot.
We're getting some numbers, and we're also going to speak from Fed's Bostic starting at 10 a.m. Wholesale inventories month over month. That's what we're looking for. 0.2% forecast, 0.2% previous. We did get some lower than expected initial jobless claims and higher than expected productivity and unit labor costs coming through at 8:30 a.m. So just to give some context for these numbers, getting in 1 second, 0.1% here for wholesale inventories month over month, slightly below estimates of 0.2%. There's also wholesale sales month over month, actually slightly higher than the forecast, 0.3% versus 0.1% expected. Here's the Nasdaq continuing to push to the upside into new day's highs. We know, of course, one of the biggest stories on watch here had to do with this announcement between Apple and U.S. President Donald Trump. They're going to be now investing an additional $100 billion in the U.S., bringing their total over the next 5 years to $600 billion. Trump did announce 100% tariffs for companies that are not building semiconductors in the U.S. or investing in the U.S., but because a lot of these companies are, many of them are actually pushing higher despite this news. Unless you're Intel, which is actually struggling after Trump posted on Truth Social that the CEO of Intel, Lip Bhutan, should resign over his potential ties to companies in China. APP, one of the strongest earning day ones plays here that I've seen, continuing to the upside right now, trading just around that $430 level after its earnings report, and that's despite actually missing on some of their metrics as well. CELH, another one that was pretty strong here on earnings day one. We have Datadog. We have names like Eli Lilly, tons of names to look at here, and you can get the whole list of what's reporting tonight as well on X at TTV Research. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara. NVIDIA just ran the high and pulled right back in, so I jumped out. We'll see if VWAP can hold. So topping tail candle got to 184. The 183 half seller seems to be winning on the stock, at least temporarily, but got to move on to the next. I jumped out of Intel because it bounced off VWAP, so this time if it loses VWAP, I want to go short. And then jumping on over to Tesla, which we haven't even talked about Tesla today. Tesla failed to break. All right, so temporarily, Tesla looked like it was going through 22. 23 is the big level on Tesla on a 15-minute chart. But I guess this is pulling back, so no rush over there on Tesla. Wow, okay. In the time it took me to go over and to discuss NVIDIA and Intel, Tesla just dropped that dollar. I thought this was about to break that 323. Looks like that's not going to be the case. Going to wait for NVIDIA to pull back, see if we can catch a VWAP bounce in here, or try to catch it right off that 182 pre-market high. A little bit of a dip there in the market as well.
Okay. Yeah, so we get out of our Disney there, and I bought a little bit back at 115. This is going to be the negative stock for me on the day, which is kind of too bad because we are really... All right, let's talk about something else. I mean, I do get, so I apologize. I get caught up in some of the trades that I'm in because, wow, right now. This is just, Palantir and AMD are making a special moment right here. I mean, there goes that 182 that we actually liked long. It just broke that like crazy time. We're now $3, we're now $8 almost in the money here in total positions, and we have two big names. It's not like we're trading like an Eli Lilly where $8, maybe is the spread or anything like that. But we've got Palantir here now, $3 in the money on Palantir and $4.50 now on Advanced Micro Devices. That's going higher and higher and higher, man. as we continue to go. But all right, non-farm payrolls today plus 2.7 versus 2 expected. A big improvement, obviously, from last quarter. So I don't know if that's helped the market or not. I mean, I think everything right now is helping this market just continue to go higher. Jobless claims came in at 221, slightly above expectations of 222. So not great, but not a number that's going to influence the market one way or another. All right, this is the thing, like, it's trying to go over everything with you guys, and we're going to be taking more, and you can see from the midday, like a news-based, trying to cover some more of the economic plays and things like that that are going on. But honestly, man, traders got to trade, and this is what I'm trying to emphasize to you guys. We always sit here, and trading's a lonely and a tough game, but I just feel like the last couple whiles, we've been really, really going for all of this, and it's just been an amazing run of stuff. So I see Neil's in Tesla. Why don't we go over to that, because that's going to be a new name, and I'm just going to sort of get refocused here, and just want to thank everybody for the love and the support. And let's just keep that going. Hit the like and hit the subscribe, and let's go see a new name like Tesla.
Yeah, it's not. Look, it's just the breakout that we're mentioning. It's this 15-minute chart is scaled badly because of those wicks, but you're breaking out this 322 into 24, 25 resistance, ultimately 330 to me would be like filling in the entirety of the earnings gap. We bounced off 300, you've been trying to go, so it's just a consolidation break on Tesla. I have my stop in always at a basically the prior high. So if you're ever wondering, when I'm taking a breakout trade, it goes 20, 30 cents in the money, fair enough, sometimes you'd scalp that out. I want it going. If my stop is under here 40 or 50 cents, I want to try to give it that much room to the upside, and that allows me to try to get back in on a volume weighted average price. There's something a little bit different. Like, I don't want to hold this to there. I'd rather get out, look for the next trade. And like the other day, Tesla at the 312 level took a couple of tries to get through. If it takes a couple of tries to get through this level, I'll just take it another time. I am back into the Intel short. It's underneath VWAP. So the whole patented, if Intel breaks high in the morning and then flushes under VWAP, I'm going to short it underneath the volume weighted average price. So if we see, I'll see if I can get another shot at Tesla in here. There's no specific story with Tesla today. This is just pure earnings continuation that I'm looking at on this bad boy. Oh, the other thing I wanted to get to, we didn't talk about Novo. If Eli Lilly turns, then watch out, because Novo was up on Lilly's weakness, obviously, because most of what happened with Eli Lilly was not earnings. The earnings were good. It was a result of their oral pill and not really competing very well, or at least having less of a weight loss than Novo Nordisk's. I don't think you should be comparing, anyways, it's just me, I don't think you should be comparing the oral directly to the injectable. The whole idea is that more people are apt to be able to take the oral, so if it's close, it should be good enough, but that's just my opinion. Clearly the market didn't agree with that. So if Novo actually is going to continue to the downside, I like it even better if Eli Lilly is catching a bit of a bid. Adara?
Yeah, I just want to mention here, we do have comments coming through from Feds Bostic. In another, I guess now 13, 15 minutes, we're going to start getting comments from Feds Muslim, so lots of Feds talk today. But Feds Bostic basically talking about a variety of economic scenarios that could play out, making it hard to assign probabilities. That's kind of the main thing I'm seeing right now from Feds Bostic. Just be aware he is speaking, and we have had the Feds be a little bit mixed in terms of what they're saying with regards to the rate move from here on out. It is worth noting Feds Daily in particular has actually seemed like she's ready to potentially cut, or at least thinks they're holding too long. One thing Feds Bostic just said as well is that it's likely the economy will continue to slow. Back to you.
Board's not correct, because I just got Apple off of VWAP there, and sometimes it takes 4 or 5 seconds to up.
Maybe it's correct. It looks like it's correct for me, but I.
Oh, it just yeah, but that
there
popped
it
in. But look,
did you get a fill again?
No. We're already at the next vol. That's what I'm saying. That was very, very late, because I got it on the other 3-minute candle. This happened like a minute ago. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. VWAP on Apple. It doesn't matter.
You know, I'm watching that Netflix has a really good WWE thing called that. It's called Real One or something like that. And it's behind the scenes. It's awesome.
Anyways, I don't know what.
It's an awesome thing to watch. Just being a huge
fan
of WWE, as I know you are as well.
I know it's not real, but
it is real. It's scripted. It's real, but
scripted.
Yeah.
If you grow up on something.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
To me, it's also the memories, man. I don't know.
Well,
like
yeah,
my brother,
for sure.
Yeah, we used to watch that.
There's no more famous person in the world than Hulk Hogan. If you show a picture of Hulk Hogan,
I love Hulk Hogan, but
okay,
I
but
don't know
if you show
I love Hulk Hogan.
Okay, but who if you show a picture to
Michael
a
Jordan.
little kid, Michael Jordan? No, I don't. No,
You
I
don't think so?
No.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, Ronaldo has. Okay, Ronaldo will have more people that a bigger base because of South America, Portugal, like just the fact of what soccer means to the whole part of the world.
But it should be like, can you recognize the face, right? Because Hulk
That's what I'm
Hogan,
saying.
you can. I could not recognize Ronaldo's face.
There you go. So okay, so there you go. And I think that's true. So I would say that Hulk Hogan has the most recognizable persona in the whole world. There it goes.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
You don't have to. I mean, no one has to agree with it. I'm just saying that I don't think there's anybody else.
I love
or
Hulk
Taylor
Hogan.
Swift. I mean, it's one of those two. It's not.
Okay, but
Ronaldo's a good call.
I think it's
I'll give
an
that to
unfair
Joe.
comparison because if you start going like Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson, that's a pretty high bar. It's different world.
No, I mean everyone sees Hulk Hogan. I mean, you can ask a kid in China, who is this, and you show them to Hulk
it's an
Hogan.
interesting question. It is an interesting question.
Yes. You know how big WWE is?
Oh, it's huge.
I mean, it was,
No, it's huge.
and he, in my opinion, anyways. Look, man, I'm just throwing out trades. I'm throwing out hot takes.
I love
this is
Hulk.
what it is, man.
I don't know if it's that guy. I don't know if he's that guy.
I mean,
Well,
I haven't heard anybody else. I
sorry.
mean, maybe Cena, John Cena.
Well, in wrestling.
No, in the world, in any sport, anything, period.
No, I think Michael Jordan. Over.
You think Michael Jordan's face is more recognizable than Hulk
Michael
Hogan's?
Jordan. Yeah.
All right.
Michael Jordan. I don't know about the soccer guys. Apple just lost the Open.
Mike Tyson could be good.
Mike Tyson, but again, I would probably still go to Michael Jordan. That's just me. Whatever.
Only because Hulk Hogan has the mustache, like he has the typical.
It's because
he's like so unique.
But then the bald look.
It's so unique.
Oh.
Everybody knows Hulk Hogan, but I could be wrong. Who knows?
Either way, he's
there's lots of things.
He was a living legend, and
I mean, I could be. If I'm wrong on that take, at least
sad.
we're not wrong on the trades today, which has been pretty good. So we are now out of Palantir, by the way. That broke through 182. That was sort of the levels that we were talking about. We had that listed up on our note. So 182 to 182.50. There you go, Ramin. You actually want to clip something that might actually hit. There. How about that Hulk Hogan thing there? So that might upset Sharif because he's a very, very strong TikTok fan there. But all right, let's go back over to Adair and see what she's up to.
So it looks like I do have some updates here, at least reports on what might be happening with regards to the Fed chair decision. Apparently, the favorite amongst Trump's selection team right now is Christopher Waller. He is currently a Fed governor, and he has actually called for rate cuts. He was also one of the two Fed governors or Fed members alongside Michelle Bowman to actually disagree with the Fed's decision to hold rates steady at the July meeting. Apparently, they actually like that he supports interest cuts based on projections, likely because we know that this team also wants interest cuts. So if they can have some kind of technical basis, that would be a good look. Apparently, he hasn't met with Trump yet, but Waller has apparently met with Trump's team. Again, this is just reports. We also have Fed's Bostic saying that there is still uncertainty with regards to tariffs and how they'll impact prices, specifically if it'll be a one-time impact or an ongoing impact. And he's saying that that's making it hard to kind of decipher how this is going to impact inflation still. Back to you.
Thanks, Waller. The market just, I don't want to say bled, but like clearly, like Nvidia just lost VWAP. The Nasdaq's right back into the lows. It hasn't broken the lows yet, but we're right back into the lows. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a dip here. I mean, I wouldn't be. We're still, most of the breakout stocks are good. The one that is not going to retake that 322 is going to be Tesla. So yeah, Tesla resists that 22. I said if it got back up there again, I would take another breakout, but obviously now you're well under VWAP, and yeah, it might not be anything here on Tesla for that break. It is what it is. But let's go back over to, Eli Lilly. Okay, so what I was looking for when I was talking about Lilly and Novo, I felt like if Lilly started catching a bid, short Novo, which was already looking weak. But it's just doing a bit of a jaunt to the downside. I think this makes no sense, but as I said, just because you beat top and bottom, just because your growth is good, just because you're best of breed, doesn't always mean that the market rewards you on earnings. if you look at the chart of Eli Lilly, it's like, okay, fine. It sucks that it's breaking down under 700, but then pull up a chart of Novo.
Oh boy.
Right, and this is the difference. Like Novo has been going downside the entire way here. So, at some point, I guess Lilly had to do a healthy pullback, and the excuse was going to be that the average loss was 12% on their oral GLP when everyone was expecting 15, which is what they're able to accomplish with Novo. Anyway,
Oh, man.
I think you give it a couple of days, and I think it's going to be a good buy. But I'm using the 3-day rule with Lilly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, tough one there. Obviously, as we looked at Tesla, and I was just going to say the same thing because AMD's trying to pull back just a little bit. But yeah, we did not suffer Palantir losses today, but we did get out right there when it broke through 182, and there it goes, breaking now through 183. So that looks like a little bit of a silly decision right there. But again, if you are following, we do have it listed on here for 182 break. Once it failed it there, I thought maybe we were heading to the downside. I mean, the market still is what it is underneath the 50 period, trying to bounce off VWAP a little bit right here. So I do take advantage of the most recent bump up though, at least, and get some out at 172 on AMD, as we are much lighter now on this one, under 10% left so far there. Like I said, I know Neil was looking at Tesla there at the 322 level. That's a level that I lost on previously as well, as what just happened here today. So now I feel like dip buying has been what's been working, right? I mean, AMD was a good break, but did give us dip buy opportunities. So I'm wondering about the same thing here with Tesla at some point, right? I feel like I'm getting to the point now on Palantir where, just for my own sanity, we should probably take something out. So after we get off the air right now, I do have a small, I think it was 15% or so of my position waiting at 195. The fact that I'm not here tomorrow, I'm going to be with my kids all day. I won't be able to watch it. If it does flush, then I'd feel so horrible not getting something out near these highs. And honestly, $10, like if we get to 185 today or something like that, or even right here at 183, like if the ultimate goal is 200 and then regroup, you're not too far away from that right now. I mean, the fact is this is the best performing name in the S&P 500 this year. This is what it's done off earnings. There's been no pullback whatsoever. It's been a shame to have missed this, as I know a lot of people have. A lot of people don't buy, huge growth names with crazy PEs, and that makes perfect sense to me, man. I'm not, I don't claim to, make all the right decisions. I told you we bought some Eli Lilly, we bought some Palo Alto recently, we bought some Apple recently. We're into DraftKings, which fell actually today. I didn't even look at it since Neil was saying that.
That bottom was,
and it's
so
still,
good.
it's coming back in again. So, remember, I was sort of sirening a little bit here with DraftKings. I said, if we ever get into the 50s today, we wanted to sell that. I mean, I don't know if I would have sold it at 50 flat, but up in here, it's definitely something we're selling DraftKings. You want to sort of sell the rumor, buy the rumor, sell the news. So in this situation, I'm selling NFL. Like, I think the NFL is just around the corner. It's going to be great for DraftKings, FanDuel, and everybody, your most recent bookies, local bookies. Everybody's going to make money off of NFL because, quite frankly, that is part of the reason why NFL is so popular, is gambling and fantasy sports, and DraftKings has both of those angles. So, just
to jump on that,
yeah.
But like the NFL part, but not necessarily DraftKings, I don't think everyone understands. Like, maybe the market doesn't understand how big of a deal this NFL thing is for ESPN and Disney.
Well, that's why I tried to go long Disney earlier.
Like, do we not realizing how, it's huge? They're actually, I get it, they're not Netflix, but it's like they made money in streaming. They've got the NFL with ESPN.
Yeah,
Look,
huge.
man, I'll be the first person to admit, I had an ESPN Plus membership on their website for 10, 15 years before I gave it up a few years ago, because I just kind of felt, look, call a spade a spade. The Athletic whooping their butt when it comes to reporting, and it's not even remotely close. But at the same time, when it comes to broadcast, they're doing the right thing over at Disney. They made more money last quarter on streaming than they did in linear.
Yeah, they were huge.
Show me anybody else. I don't know if this is a fact or not. Is anybody else in linear TV already transitioning and making more on the streaming side and has made that push where they've now reversed it? Because Disney has. And I'll say this as a person who will crap all over Disney for what they've done with Star Wars and other things. I'm not being a homer here. That's just it's a genuine opinion. I think they're doing really, really well. And like I said, I know they've ruined Star Wars, Joe, but I'm looking for a place to get back into this stock. The chart's telling me maybe it's the 200 period moving average, right? We've said this before. If you like a stock and you're looking to buy it, you can do a heck of a lot worse on a daily chart than simply buying in front of the 200 period moving average. So maybe that's going to be it, because I think they got this one. Anyway, when I say they, you know what I mean. It's going down on earnings. That's what I felt about Amazon the other day. Let me just double check. That's still going really, really well. Amazon off the 200 period moving average, it's bouncing. If you don't like the market's reaction to something, then wait patiently for your opportunity. This was you at least follow the rule of giving it a couple of days. I feel like that makes some sense. Make sure that it's holding a low and then try to round yourself into a long position. Yeah, Amazon's going to get back to those highs. Sometimes it doesn't go right away. Profit takers, people nitpicking one or two things in an earnings report. In this particular case with Amazon, it had to do with their cloud growth, and we're just right back into the upside. Yeah, and look, Justin Chapman, the same ESPN getting involved with NFL Network and Red Zone will be huge. Yeah, that's right. NFL's that's the biggest game in town. There's two things that you want. You want to have for live. You want to have sports and WWE, right? I think they're different, but they're kind of the same thing. Let's go up to Adair.
Let's take a look here at the IWM. This has not had a single green 15-minute candle so far today. In fact, 3 bright red 15-minute candles. To be fair, because we gapped up alongside the rest of the market, it's actually still decently above its day's low, but not a great way to start here for the Russell 2000. We have a whole bunch of small cap earnings names to talk about. Let's start here with XERS, Xeris Biopharma. Better than expected earnings across the board here. Smaller than expected loss per share and sales beat for XERS. Then we have SLDP. I mentioned Solid Power earlier today. That one's still pretty strong here. Inline losses per share, sales of $6.49 million versus estimates of $6.45 million. So that would be a double beat for XLDP. Last but not least, CRON. Kronos Group actually here missing larger than expected loss per share, but a sales beat. Good look here for this cannabis play, CRON. Lots of these small cap earnings names. Long story short today, guys. Back to you.
Can I
It's a great
bust?
transition.
Yeah, we're trying our best over here at Dara. Believe me, every single day we are trying our best. And there it goes, man. AMD 179.50, absolutely blowing up. Go buy a zip on that trade because it just continues, man. I mean, you buy a couple zips. Nice move there for AMD. Also, Palantir, obviously, as we continue to talk about that name, that's trying to make some moves here as well. Firefly Aerospace
58.
indicating now 58. We just heard out of the side of our ear here. So watch out for that play coming in. Firefly, the IPO today.
That's like 30% from the list because they upped it to 45. Remember
Right.
CoreWeave and Circle and why do I already forget Figma? Oh, that's so sorry, Figma.
Figma was
and Figma. They were like 2x, like they were doubling it up. It was just crazy. And you look at the top and you're like, what the heck? I'm not getting the feels on Firefly today.
I don't think have the order in.
I don't have the order. You know what? I didn't pay for locates yet. I don't have the order in. I don't think I'm going to take the opening print on Fly. There's nothing to see. Like
What
usually,
do they even do, anyways?
they're aerospace, right? So like space name. That's the other thing. Voyager was the recent space IPO. Look at a chart of Voyager since it opened up, and there's nothing. I don't even see it with a tap or anything yet, which is wild.
Yeah, let's see Voyager because I did have that IPO.
No, look at this thing. The best price you could have had is 2 minutes after the open, it looks like, or whatever. It opened and then just been tanking. It's been straight to the couple of up days here, but trend down the entire way. Like, what are you going to do? Like, when Circle opened up, that was in the height of the craze of stable coins, and everyone was excited about it. I don't know that I get those feels, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm not taking this print. A lot of it has to do with Voyager. I just don't see the hype as much with Fly. And you know what? If it works, congratulations to everybody. You don't take them all. I think we probably take the opening print on what, like 2% if you look at all the IPOs.
Yeah, sure, why not?
1 or
Andre? No
2%
problem.
or something along those lines. So I'm not going to take that one today. If I saw Voyager with an uptrend and the excitement there, that would make sense. I want the space, pun intended, to be looking a lot stronger if I'm going in.
Oh man, talk about strong space. I mean, the story continues here to sort of be the same, right? And that is that the strength that we've been seeing in AI continues to sort of continue through. The momentum in the space is huge, with AMD going upside, with Palantir going upside. Yesterday, A Lab, again, Astera Labs. Let's see if there's any sort of continuation on this one. It looks like there is not, down now 1.93. The other one yesterday was AST. Oh, no, it wasn't ASTR. I keep saying that's Astera.
ASTS.
ASTS.
You know what? If you just call it Astis, you'll never forget it.
Right, yeah.
Just call it Astis.
Probably a good call there. We did have a move yesterday, but this name pulling back in. This is actually not even the one that I was looking at. What was it? There was Astera yesterday, and there was another one,
A-Lab.
Arista.
ALAB.
ALAB, yeah, that was the one here that I wanted to see, excuse me, the continuation. Yeah, down 2%. We already covered this. Okay, I'm in my own world right now. All right, and talk about being in your own world. Have you seen Trade the Pool? And now they've created something special for you, a free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trade strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Right now, inside you'll see exactly how they approach the markets, how they manage risk, what setups they're looking for, and how you can grow and rely on those moves. Download it now, scan that QR code on your screen, and hit the link in the description. It's Trade the Pool. We want to thank them for continuously sponsoring the best trading show, period. I still want to get those. I mean, I'm still on Twitter here. You guys find me over there at TraderTV. Sean, send me please a link to a better trading show, because we're all trying to improve it, and we do want to thank everybody for being patient with us as we go through the renos. I actually said to the producer here today that I thought that this looks great. If we just got rid of all these things, the black background actually, I think, looks pretty hot. So shout out to the way it's looking now, but it's about to look even bigger and better as Studio 8 is officially blown up. Our current studio being built into Studio 8 right now. We're in the last steps.
Can you see this? So they've already got the platforms to where we're going to be moving. Like, they're already there. So it's a matter of time at this point before we're jumping back down and we're actually be sitting in effectively the middle of this gigantic space. Like, I feel like it'll be like on TNT. Like, we'll be. Yeah. That's the show I always try to reference. With Chuck, with Chuck and Shaq, Ernie. For anyone that doesn't know it, it's a fantastic show. But I love that massive.
I have a
studio
feeling Sharif
effect.
is going to be Ernie.
I love
the news. No, I'm saying he does not about the character, but about the news.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're kind of like Kenny. You're kind of like a Kenny Smith guy, and then Joe and I'll handle the center of the court.
What's weird is they're always on the opposing sides. Shaq,
I know. Yeah.
Shaq and Barkley are always on opposing sides, which is just weird to me.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Shout out. That's a great reference, though. I think you're almost dead on with how we're trying to.
Well, maybe I just gave away something what we're trying to do. If you can visually. I mean, I've been talking.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
That's the general idea, because I think it's a great format as well. Passport chaos. No, I did not see the 20-point drop in Circle. I'll admit it.
It did?
I will look at it right now, but I did not see the 20-point drop. Really?
20 points?
No, huh? No. Oh, no, it's down 2%.
Oh,
okay.
That's not 20. Oh, maybe just from the top, maybe?
Yeah,
like
but
talking about its past performances?
I suppose, I'm not sure what time frame you're calling that, but it's only down 2%. I would have been really shocked if Circle had managed to drop 20% and we didn't even notice. Somebody would have been yelling about it. No, it's a good downtrend. I guess it went almost $20, but that's, it didn't really move. 70 down to 30, that's not even 20%. It's a bigger than 2% drop because it was gapped to the upside. I think that's the reality. So forget about the 2% down. It's what it's done since the open. Yeah. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I'll have this on a quote board. I like to have both columns up. Like, what is it from the prior day, but what is it from the open as well? Like, what's the actual momentum today, and what is it from the prior close? Because I think this is a day trader, this column matters more. Like what is moving the most? This is my quote board, it's not the entire market. Just get that out of the way. But what's moving the most since the open? Robinhood's up there, AMD makes sense, Amazon, NEO doesn't make sense to me, but why not? 1.5%, SMCI, Coinbase, not just what is up from that prior close. And then I'll go over and I'll look at Robinhood, and wow, Robinhood looks fantastic. Robinhood is trending. Come on, SoFi. I know, every single time if I pull up Robinhood, I want to see if SoFi is doing the same thing, exactly the same chart. That's what you want to see. I never want SoFi to be doing the opposite. I want it to ride the coattails, and I want it to get broken back out. Oh, this could actually happen. All right. See, this is actually a reason why you should go over your quote board, take a look at what's relatively strong, because I was not even prepared to look at SoFi today. But I really like this if it can hold. I hate these bottoming tail candles.
Yeah, it's a good price.
But look at these topping tail wicks over 22.25. You hold above there, break out this top. I think I'm going breakout hunting at 2240-ish on SoFi. What's the actual high of the day? 43. I guess the VWAP trade is actually closer than any breakout here on SoFi. But see, you look at Robinhood and find a trade in SoFi.
Yep, exactly. So that's why get involved, man. Get into the chat. You know, start hitting us up with some names, some different stocks that you want to trade. And we do have something that's really cool that is unique to Trader TV Live, because we simply have the best team here that continues to build these things. So shout out to my good friend over there, Fabian. I've already spoken to him today. He's running around doing everything. We talked about how we're building this studio up. All the work that everybody's doing is absolutely amazing. I'm going to reset this right now. NBIS, have we talked about that? We can go over NBIS in a minute. I'm going to get a fresh start right now. So type in here what you want us to look at. It's now 10:30, so we're going to go over to Adara, but we'll talk about all of these names here. We'll talk about the top 5 or 10 of them, so start voting. All you got to do is get into the chat right now and type in whatever you want, including names like right there. Tomorrow, you guys are all going to be blessed, because it will be no me, but it will be OB. So there it goes, man. He's going to be in there tomorrow. Get that going. We're going to go over to Adara, and then you guys will be able to see here what the market looks like today versus tomorrow with this update right here from Adara.
Yeah, just keep an eye here on COP. ConocoPhillips, we have commentary coming from the CEO. They actually already had their earnings call at 7 a.m., but I guess the CEO right now is saying that they see extra supply in the oil market due to OPEC+. Little pop here for COP, ConocoPhillips, on that comment about potentially extra oil supply in the extra supply in the oil market. Back to you.
Just because this is what we do around here, did I look at NBIS? No. But what I can tell you, good beat. 105 versus 101 on revenue. It's 100% quarter-over-quarter growth, 625% year-over-year growth in revenues. Yeah, that'll play. What the heck, 600%? Anyways, no, NBIS up 24% after reporting their earnings, and that is a gorgeous looking break. The problem with this is nobody has this breakout, presumably. And this, look, you could have had this breakout at 7 a.m.
Trying.
Maybe you could have had this right at 7 a.m. That's about it, everybody.
Too strong, man.
But a big time move here for NBIS, breaking it out.
hands.
Great earnings as well on that regard for at least their revenue growth. I talked about look, I wanted SMCI to hold a volume weighted average price. This really did not hold VWAP at all. As a matter of fact, it's now trending back into the downside. So might not be anything for the minute in SMCI, but I want to see if this can get back and hold that 48 level. Intel's slowly grinding lower. It was ultimately the wrong decision to get out shorting above VWAP on Intel, but that's just a rule's a rule. When it retook it, we jumped back into the short. I've tried getting back in it here at the volume weighted average price. As long as this continues to trend down, I like it, but I'm showing you this. I'm canceling my VWAP order, because at this point, if it gets to VWAP, it's broken the downtrend, which I didn't really draw it that well, but it's easily breaking the downtrend if it gets to the volume weighted average price. So I'm just going to put a trailing stop in. Get out if it breaks about 83.
It's kind of funny, like Intel, I mean, great short at the top there. We talked about it potentially running higher there. And this is what we keep on, hey Adara, this is what we keep on mentioning, every day is try to stick with a theme and, try to stay in the short if you still like it until something changes. And right now the market is going to the downside. So the only position that I have is AMD, and we have 3% left of this position, and I'm looking to get into something else. But let's just do a quick little overview here. Apple today up 3%, or it was at one point. Okay, now up 2.5%. And again, the reason for this was $100 billion U.S. immediate investment helps ease tariff fears with a promise of $600 billion coming through. Such plants in Kentucky, Michigan, and all that with the glass, deals with Corning. We talked about the overflow on some other names with that as well. I'm not sure what Sharif's story was with Duolingo, because I thought you were all about that, and then something happened.
Beast.
Okay, so I'll leave that for Sharif. He has a lot to say.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so Neil thinks it's fantastic. Sharif has some issues with it. Maybe that's for a midday talk as we'll come through. But hey, you know what? No offense, Sharif. The stock right now up 30%. So there it goes. But hey, as Sharif was hating on it, it did have a huge move down. So credit to that. And often when you get huge pullbacks like this, it is due for some kind of a move. But Duolingo right there, strong Q2 results, and of course a raised guidance sends that one to the moon. DoorDash, we're not ordering too much takeout in my house these days, but it looks like DoorDash. And again, DoorDash has many other things here for our dog Belle. Love Belle. She got sprayed by a skunk a week and a half ago.
Worst.
Yeah, she still kind of smells like it. I call her stink face right now. But right there, DoorDash, they deliver from Pet Value or something here. A lot of different businesses. Bless you on that one. Record results across their EPS, record orders, and record revenue for DoorDash. So they're doing things right. DoorDash today. Eli Lilly going the other way. This is me trying to copy Sharif's little news thing here. He does a much better job, so I apologize. But right now, Eli Lilly, much weaker today on trial guidance. They didn't have the great number. They're looking for 15%, I think, weight loss, and they got about 11 to 12% on that oral pill. But hey, they're the only ones that have an oral pill that's actually working. So we actually just recently bought some there. I realized, and this is gonna sound silly, but I didn't get filled at 650 because I put a pre-market order in that canceled on open. So I actually just logged in right now and bought some more right now. Yeah, it was a pre-market. I selected pre-market thinking I was going to get, because that's when I put the trade in, and then it canceled on open on iTrade. So I was wondering why I didn't get the fill. But anyways, I wound up getting it at 640. So I'm still out of the money there, but I did buy some more Eli Lilly. I do generally like the 3-day rule. This major name, man, I'll buy. So my current position, let's just say, is 100%. I added 30% to it. So we buy a little bit of a dip in that name as well. The other big name today that many of you may be looking at, I don't know, is Airbnb. We talked about it quickly off the jump, and we didn't quite see too much in this name. I mean, it gets as high as 124, back into 120, and now is just kind of hovering around there for Airbnb, down 7%. Again, I like the space, but why not? If you're trying to make a play maybe in travel, I don't know, man. Everyone takes Ubers everywhere they go. I wonder about this kind of a play, but again, they have so many headwinds revolving around Waymo, robo-taxi, uncertainties, things like that. So I don't know, man. I feel a little bit. I should have got out of some Uber near the top there. Yeah, I don't think so, but I don't know.
Yeah, I muted myself to sneeze. No, it's just one of those, we just got the first big sign of weakness in the labor market.
Right.
Is that the moment that we want to be getting into travel names? I don't know that.
The only thing is with the tariff, I know we got to do something, but I think with this tariff relief and everything like that, I just wonder if that makes people feel a little bit better about traveling, some less tensions around different countries and stuff.
I never want to travel less in a general sense, but I know that that's not always reflective of the overall market and how it works out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'd wait and see on Airbnb. I don't know in the stock anyways, but if you're looking for things that are, there's a lot of things that are moving today. When we have earnings the way that we do, you're going to have a hard time, if you don't have a watch list like ours for free, sifting through. But what you can do is check out eSignal. For 1 month free, you can have a platform with access to pretty much every single market out there and all the ones that you want because it's easy to use and customizable. It's got reliable data. It's got the ability to trade through multiple brokers with every indicator you could imagine. There's level 2 access, so you can see the depth of book, time and sales if you like, the imbalance locator to track IPOs, like today with Fly, or I forget the name of the other one. Everything in one spot with the first month free at eSignal. It's a great platform. We've used it for years, and as I said, the first month is going to be free. So check it out. No harm, no foul. Give it a bit of a shot. We're just looking at, I have the daily chart of Apple up, still holding that 215, 216 area on the daily. Definitely a good look there. And just to go back over, I've said I'm not taking this print, but it doesn't mean, just because I'm not going to take Fly on the long, on the open print, doesn't mean we won't look at it. I'm seeing the tap of 60, let me do it this way, by time. There we go. It's a buy and balance of nothing. Indicating 60.21 is the open price. That's basically a 33% premium over the issue. Issue was 45. They upped that a couple of times to raise a little bit more. Open interest of about 1.4 million shares with a small buy and balance if you're watching for that print. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like I said, I gave my reasons, mostly because of what I saw in Voyager. It's not over $1 billion that they're doing here, so I'm just not a gigantic lover. I have my stop on SoFi at the $22 even level. It just bounced off 22.02. So might have got lucky there. We got some in at 13, took some out at 20. Now I want to see it hold that 22 even. The thing that hasn't happened here, which I've changed when I'm trading off of VWAP, is if I'm getting in at VWAP, I want to scalp it, I want to scalp tight, or I want to back off on adding to the position until it breaks the trend. So this is the trend from the high on SoFi. As long as it holds 22, great, but I don't want to get any more shares. Even though it confirmed it's holding where my stop is, I don't want to get any more shares until it's breaking that trend line, and then I get some confluence, as Obi would like to say it, with that trade. And the reason I like this today has everything to do with Robinhood, sympathy strength, crypto to the upside. And one of the things about that executive order where the president's going to allow in retirement accounts, crypto, real estate, expanding things that made sense for a long time in terms of what you can invest in your retirement account. This is just more, it's just more tailwind for some of these fintech names. Right? We know 24/5 trading is going to be fantastic for them. We know broadening the depth of what you can hold in your retirement accounts is just going to be positive news. I wish we had that here. I think eventually it's going to come. I don't know when Carney's going to get to it. He's got a lot of other things on his plate, but Robinhood, SoFi, crypto names, all looking very strong today. Haven't really checked too much in on Coinbase, but I would, only 3%, but still, positive day for them. Don't know why it's languishing under the volume weighted average price. So yeah, good luck to anyone that takes that print on Firefly. I just heard in my ear, it's still looking at about $60 for that open.
Oh, it keeps going higher, huh?
It's slowly creeping up, but it's not that big. Like 33% seems like a lot, but at one point the tap on Figma was like $100, 95 at least, and it was a 33 issue price.
So what was
it was 3x.
What was Fly's issue price?
45.
Okay.
So it's like what? That's better. Like 60 is good, but it's not like it was crazy. The excitement and the build-up and the anticipation for Figma and Circle and CoreWeave. I'm just not feeling the same thing.
I don't know. The thing about it is, I mean, I know you just talked about it. Yeah, you got to be careful what you pick and choose, and because if you're going to put in some kind of serious risk into some of those opening trades, they can really go wrong. And there was one day where I forgot, I think it was Chime or something like that, and I left to go to the gym or something like that, and I actually left the order out, and I came back, and it was like not great. We probably wound up losing about 10% or so of whatever we made on Figma recently. So it's like sometimes you can have some bad experiences on stocks that do not participate properly off of those opening auctions, and especially when it's a name that doesn't have a lot of I guess retail support behind it or an understanding of what the business is. So like Fly, not that that's happening right now today, but it's just bouncing back and forth. If I'm still here, I got to get to the gym today. So if I'm still here, and it opens up, then we'll look at it. But other than that, man, we'll cancel our order, and then maybe it still hasn't published since when we get back. But the last one, that was past 2 o'clock was figured.
It was 155.
So it was like great. Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't go throw over to those guys. They were still on.
They broke a really bad record. That's not a record they want.
Is that the record?
Well, as far as that, look, I don't know if it's a fact. I know lots of people were saying it. We were saying it anecdotally here. I saw a few people say it online on X that that was the latest an IPO had ever opened up. And I tend to believe it because I can't think of anything. I can't think of a name that opened later than that. And I don't know the reason why this keeps happening, but we said it before. You notice I didn't complain about it. I'm not going to complain about it ever again because there's a weird correlation happening. The later that they open it up, it just seems like the better the trade has gone off the open.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe that has to do with there's so much pent-up demand that they're having trouble figuring out an opening price, and it's some kind of weird indication that it's just going to go crazy one direction or the other, which is ultimately good for a trader. So yeah, it's annoying that you have to sit there forever waiting for the print, but if it's resulting in more volatility you can take advantage of, then why should we be crying about it? We should be praising it and hoping they all do the same thing. Maybe if they open right away, it meant that it's not exciting, and then what's the point? So I don't know. I'm more into that camp than I was before. So I don't care when it opens. Let's go to Adair.
Here's the sector board. Lots of green in the electronic technology sector, not as much anywhere else, even though the market is still up on the day. NVIDIA, Apple, Broadcom, all strong here, as is AMD, of course, in addition to AMD earnings day 2. The reason this whole sector is to the upside is that we did have this announcement yesterday, Donald Trump and CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, announcing that the Apple is going to be raising its investment in the U.S. over the next 4 years to $600 billion. And there will be 100% tariffs for chips, but if you're producing in the U.S., you'll actually get an exemption. That also applies if you invest and build in the U.S. So good look here for all of these names. Technology services doing okay. We have some weakness in cybersecurity, particularly, I guess, in sympathy with Fortinet, but Palantir and Google strong. Finance weak, health technology mostly green with the exception of Eli Lilly down 14% on earnings. Utilities pretty green here. Transportation green, industrial services green. It's a pretty mixed bag. We're once again seeing these earnings really ruling the roost when it comes to these sector-wide moves, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, no question about that.
Just stick with the best stocks. I mean, all those stocks that she's talking about on there, like in Amazon or, anything, just continues to be up huge. Like 224 right now, up 0.76. I mean, the Nasdaq, a lot of these Nasdaq names continue to lead the way here. And we sort of talked about why that's possible. Rate cut optimism. I mean, optimism. Yeah, I'd say that's what we're feeling right now. Euphoria maybe on the rate cut decisions right here. Ooh. It was 93% yesterday. What's up with that? Now 91% chance for that rate cut. Looking into December, still 50% expecting to have a rate cut. 3 cuts by, so that's pretty much 50-50 there. It looks like we'll definitely have 2 by the time December rolls around, and then looks like December 10th is when we'll get that announcement, and then that should be exciting if these numbers still stay somewhat similar to that as we approach. So we do have rate cut optimism hitting the market, and as you can see, man, the Nasdaq, or even if we just go with NQU is the current contract. So we go HMUZ. So right now we're on U, and then come September, this U contract will expire. So the second or so week in September, when it becomes a little drier, then we will, the volume will dry up, and then we'll switch over to the Z contract. But, this is what I'm talking about. We had some, negative numbers there come through on the jobs, but then we get right back to what we're talking about, and we think, okay, a negative jobs print gets us, hopefully, those rate cuts. So it's like a push and pull here with the market and what the economy wants and what's best for it. Many traders, of course, right now looking for that rate cut, and I think they're going to get it. So that to me is part of what's fueling all of this. Plus, you get rate cut plus good earnings. So 87% of the S&P 500 beat earnings and forward guide higher. So you get those combinations coming through, and it's like a perfect storm. And by perfect storm, I mean, I'd be in this storm my whole life if this was what it was. I mean, you're just up and away right now. You're points away from all-time highs. So big earnings are really starting to take shape on this. And then today the jobless claims came in sort of basically as expected. So, you know, everything is good. Here in Canada, we got Shopify right now, a nice day two play as well. Not giving much back, only down 0.67, but there's that huge move again on a beat, a guide higher. There's Shopify coming through. And then there's going to be weak spots in the market, as we said. I mean, that hack, you said CIBR was maybe a little bit of a better ETF,
the only thing,
your cybersecurity ETF. They're getting hit right now.
Yeah.
Zscaler's down 4 or 5 points, I think.
Fortinet's
getting smoked.
Despite beats top and bottom, Fortinet was down over 20%. That's the big one. And the only reason I mentioned that cyber, it's CIBR because cyber is CyberArk. So they can't use CYBR because it's an actual stock. But it holds more. If you like PanW and CrowdStrike, it holds more in CIBR versus hack. So again, if you like those two, if you consider them best of breed to me, then you own CIBR. If you don't care, and maybe you want a little more Cisco in your life, then you can own hack. Just knowing what's in those ETFs can matter a little bit. But I don't. We said this before. The weakness that we're seeing in Fortinet. Check that now. 25% to the downside is absolutely wild. They didn't have a terrible quarter from what I can see. I keep trying to find what everyone is hating about the news, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe you just have to give it a couple of days. That said, what I do like about it overall is you look at CrowdStrike on a day like today, where you have a cohort that just reported and went 25% down. Small sympathy move down 4%. I think if Fortinet drags these names down, that could give you a good opportunity to buy, just on that basis alone. Like if we're just going to get dragged down here, CrowdStrike could see the 200, which would be perfect. I think that's a good opportunity to get in. I own more Palo Alto than CrowdStrike, and I don't know if I want that to be even. But PanW, Sympathy down 3%. That's not split adjusted. The chart doesn't look that bad, everybody. Sympathy down 3%. I think it's good news that they're not worse than this on the basis of that Fortinet move. 25% is crazy for them. It didn't make sense to me, but I think you back off for a couple of days. It's a good space to be in going into the future. Let's go to Adara.
Here's the US dollar, this daily chart, I guess, still trying to maybe continue to make this higher low from that base of 97.15. We know that we did get initial jobless claims a bit lower than expected, unit labor costs and productivity above expectations. That came out this morning at 8:30. Then at 10 a.m., we did actually get lower than expected wholesale inventories, but better than expected or higher than expected wholesale sales on a month-over-month basis. Now, let's talk here about some commentary we have from the Fed. Fed's Bostic saying he still sees one rate cut this year. So even though the market's pricing in maybe two, Fed's Bostic still seeing only one. We're really starting to see more discord within the Fed in terms of people's opinions on how many times rates need to be cut this year. Fed's Daily has said a couple times this week that she actually thinks that it made sense to hold for the time being, but at a certain point, things have to change. I also want to add, Fed's Waller is now reportedly being seen as one of the major contenders here for the Fed chair position to replace Fed Chair Powell. He's actually, currently in the Fed, and apparently he's met with members of Trump's team to talk about the position, though not yet with Trump. So Christopher Waller could be emerging as a dark horse here in the Fed race, but only time will tell who they select for May 2025 or 2026. Back to you.
May is a very good month, I agree, Sharif, because my dad was born in May. No. Why? No, it's that too. Sharif was born in May. For that Bitcoin bet, Sharif wishes that he was born later on in the year. No, I'm just simply saying because 125, we got there. We just didn't get there in time. Hold on a second. Okay, so you guys can't hear this right now, but technically we did not get to 125, but I guess we got close. So I guess technically
Joe's forever winning that bet.
Would have won anyways. It was an unfair bet though, but anyways. It was an illogical, no, but it was agreed to, so you had to stick to it. At the time it was made, it didn't make sense to me. How did he change the rules? Sharif is now claiming that Joe changed the rules on the bet. which I'm not aware of. And unless he has a mic on, you have to wait like 6 or 7 minutes to see how Joey Options might have changed the bet. But let's be real. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin has been doing just fine. So as long as both of you own it, which both of you do, both Sharif and Joe, both I'm sure do, it's been just fine. But technically, we didn't get to 125 anyways. But I like this chart. I like anything that stair steps to the upside, as long as you own it. If you don't own it, then you just got to try to find a way in and take the next step. The fact that we're not even pulling back into 110, good sign. Consolidation makes sense. Bitcoin does this all the time. Breaks to a new level, finds one, consolidates, wait for the break in either direction. There's your, I mean, it was textbook how it went from like the 90s down, bouncing to the prior high in the low 70s, and then it held above the 90s again, goes to the fresh high. I love the fact that it didn't retest the low. I think we're going to retest 110 if we haven't done so already. Just stair step to the upside. It's nice and boring and is a good hold when the chart looks like this to me. I don't mess around with the other stuff though. I mean, you can make a bunch. I'm sure you can make bigger percentages on the alts, but they're not my game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, yeah, like I said, I'm selling some of those altcoins and getting more Bitcoin. I mean, I didn't buy some, should have bought some at 113. Here's the dollar. The dollar's been pretty weak over the last couple of days, you know, and basically for the month of August right there makes moves down as, again, the dollar remains under pressure here as traders like us continue to talk about the for sure and now certain rate cut, it seems. Well, 91% certain rate cut right there, and reflected growing concerns right now of the weakening labor market, you know. And then I was going to say some political uncertainty maybe right now, but maybe not. So maybe we can get some moves back upside right here as we have, you know, now a little bit more U.S. strength, I was going to say, with respect to Apple and some of those, a little bit of the Chinese tariff worries. I mean, Apple's only one company, so I don't want to get going there. But we did have a trio of Federal Reserve officials talk about the weakening labor market, and today we get jobless claims just 1,000 under 221 versus 222. So that could be affecting also the U.S. dollar a little bit as we go. But we are at least looking for 2 rate cuts by year end. And then also the VIX. I mean, wow, we always talk about trying to protect your neck around here. So shout out to the RZA and the Jizza and the Method Man that are involved in all of that. And especially shout out to Inspector Deck. But right here, yep. VIX, the VIX. I'm going to go with CBOE here as a VIX volatility index. And if you're going to look here at a day chart, forget about what it's been doing. I mean, we got that spike up recently. And I mean, this is why I said last week, you may want to buy some VIX down here at $16 to protect against something like that. And then it goes up to $22 again and spikes right back into these highs only before fading out. So if we're ever going to get a long-standing move in the broader markets, the VIX is going to have to be north of 22. So we get up there, now it falls right back in. That's an easy way to make a little bit of money while still holding on to your longer-term positions by just quickly saying, you know what, I think this market's overpriced. I'm going to wait for a bump up. And here's 22 to 23. It goes all the way back here to October of 23, where this level meant something, and it's continuously meaning something. We've only spiked above 23 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2 years. So, you know, if you're going to look for something to do, I would say buying the VIX where we had mentioned it around 14, 15, 16. I mean, the ultimate low is 15, but if you were able to get something down here, I think that's decent protection with not that much downside risk. Although it seems like the market's going to only go up, it doesn't. It, you know, it does have those moments of regret, and you're like, what have I done? But right here,
possible.
We do the same thing. Yeah, it's not possible for this market to come down.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, of course, we know you're joking. Right there, so just a quick little look on Fly. Whoopsies, that's the wrong Fly. Here it is. I caught you, Fly. $62 right now. Not looking like it wants to open anytime soon. And, you know, to the point of what we've been talking about, when Figma, when Circle, when CoreWeave, when all these names are opening up, you had thousands of shares, like the number 1,000, which would be 10,000, or 100,000 shares. Right now, this is 5,000 shares. Like, there's not that much action. There's not that much on the bid. But remember, these are prices that are just market on open prices. So they're just saying, we want the opening fill. The Nasdaq, because it's on the Nasdaq, they're just, whoever's bidding $1,000, that could be me for 100 shares right now, you only will get long at if it opens right now, you'll get long at $62. So you could put a Nasdaq bid in at $12,000, whatever you want. Your own, I mean,
I'm sure there's.
You want to make sure that you have enough buying power to do
that's because if you put a too ridiculous a number, it'll reject it.
Or you may not. You have to have that much money because your account doesn't know exactly what you're trying to do. But the way it works out is you're going to get the opening print. Yeah. So now that's coming through. There's only 2 minutes left before 11 o'clock, and it doesn't seem like that's going to
it's not going to open in the next
for everybody. I know that I want to go over this because I ran this and we didn't go over it. So this is going to be, the midday show has the same board as us, so they'll have a quick look at this when it comes through. But right now, Sharif sort of looked at us and was like, what's going on with Fortinet? And we reminded him, of course, he remembered it, but down 25% right there on earnings, because the question, the talk over there was CrowdStrike and Palo Alto and Zscaler. Yeah, they're all coming back in. There's Robinhood. My guy Joe over there is going to be happy with that. I think back to all-time highs, maybe 110, 111 coming through. Celsius, of course, the energy drink provider, maker, up 21%. CoreWeave up like, this market is nuts, man. CoreWeave up 8%, Duolingo up 30%. 30%, a $440 name, Neil. NVIDIA up 1%, near all-time highs again of 183.50. SoundHound, we didn't cover that, but that's down today a little bit on earnings.
Yuck.
There's Eli Lilly, lower than I bought it now, down 14%. Yuck on missed data. The data was there. I think it's still pretty strong, but not as good as we thought.
QBTS and IonQ both reported as well. Both disappointed. Both quantum names disappointed.
Oh boy. Oscar right now. You guys saw me buy this live on the air. This is not like. No problem, Sharif. We bought this name live pre-earnings, and there it is, man. I'll hit this now because I think it's appropriate. It's Another one. I mean, we had bought this name. We talked about the total addressable market, trying to get bigger. I mean, again, this is an app. So we're long down here at 1370. We bought it during the midday show that one day, during the afternoon show, right before earnings. And there we go. 2 nice candles to the upside on Oscar Health. This guy ain't selling any of this play. We're going to let this go to the upside, man. Maybe we have another runner here for OSCR. So far, so good. That's it for me, my guys and gals and traders and they and them and everybody that's in the chat. We want to say a big shout out to all of you and thank you for supporting it. Neil, kill him with kindness. Let's go.
I got to kill him with on the rail super chat. Got to get to it. Appreciate you. We've already talked about Lilly a lot. You're asking if it's a good buy. Seems like a nice 10% upside in the next week or two. The only new thing I will say about Eli Lilly, I've already ranted about what I think about the quarter relative to, in the comparisons, the oral versus what I think unfair comparisons between their oral drug and the injectable with Novo. Not fair. It was a small miss. Everything else was a beat. I want to be a buyer of the stock. I'm going to give it some time. But on a monthly chart, it is breaking down on this monthly. I think for me, it's an auto buy if it gets underneath $600 into the 550 range. Otherwise, I'm going to give it a day or two to make a low, kind of like what we saw with Amazon. I know I want it, but where's my daily charts behind here? I know I want it, but I just wanted to see it hold, and once it confirmed that it was holding the 200 period, then we go in when it shows me that double bottom bounce. That's what I'm going to wait for, or at 550 auto buy, or in front of 550, probably like 569 and 42. Would be a nice fun price. So let's get back to it. We got the professor, we got Joey options. We'll be back at 2 o'clock, everybody. Good luck if you're taking those IPOs. I don't think I will be, but good luck on Firefly if you do. Go get them.